Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, niche news show, basically anything that Baku and I sparks our interest or sparks joy, as some people might put it. We will talk about it. And guys, oh, have we got a show for you because, and that's not just hyperbole, we have almost 20 RPGs that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
bunch
But
of games.
man, before we do that, guys, I gotta tell you that man, we're gonna be previewing a bunch of trailers. We're gonna talk about some rumors. We'll answer questions and comments from super chats at the end of the show. Now we do stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Man, Baku, how have you been this week?
This past week's been insane.
Oh,
This so I started my new job on Monday. Okay.
hmm,
And then I found out that my let's just say my assistant person who's been running the show so far leaves that Friday
oh no.
forever. Like this person's gone.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, you mean to tell me I'm stepping into a position? I'm brand new, and within a single week, the person who's been running the show so far, who's supposed to be like my deputy person, is leaving on a
Wow.
Friday. I was like, I didn't know this. Like, I did not sign up for this.
Hmm.
So yeah, thankfully the team that I'm working with right now, they're super knowledgeable, and they
Oh,
know their stuff,
yeah,
so I am certain that it's going to be okay. But it's okay, so that happened, right?
yeah.
Then I found out that P4 has been crashing every time I try to stream it. I'll be
Hmm.
streaming for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't even get to a save point, and then it just crashes,
I
and then
remember
I
you
have to do
talking
it
about
again.
that. Yeah.
Well, it turns out that it really wasn't P4. It was basically any game, because I tried another game, and then wouldn't you know it, within an hour it crashes again. And
Oh
then I
no.
try to turn on Resident Evil 2 just for giggles,
Uh,
and it crashes immediately. So it was my computer. Something was wrong with my computer, and I had no idea what it is, and I still don't know what it is.
Okay.
So you
Oh,
know
that's
what I
fun.
did? Well, yeah, I just reinstalled Windows and deleted all my programs. So now my OBS is gone. I have to reset that up. Or my Stream Deck, because I forgot to save the profile. Now to do that again.
Mm, okay.
And that's why, like, when we were setting up for Discord, we are like, oh yeah, this thing was like not hooking up correctly, and that thing's like doing kind of wonky things. Yeah, because I just reinstalled Discord.
Ah, but there's always
That's how
something super satisfying about like settling into a brand new operation system installation and just being like,
yes,
everything just works the way it's supposed to before I screwed
yes.
it all up.
Something screwed it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am looking forward to setting up OBS again, start streaming again, and actually finishing Persona 4 Golden. That would be nice. So I'm looking to stream tomorrow again. Monday through Thursday I will be streaming. Friday we're taking a day off. And that's the schedule for now. No
Yeah.
new YouTube videos still, because OBS is down. So that I just bought myself another week. It's like,
I
oh
think
yeah,
that's
no new
reasonable.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, like extremely reasonable.
Sure.
How about you, man? What you been up to?
Oh man. What a week it has been. So I gained a year. I gained a level.
Oh, right.
So I had that happen,
Okay.
which was okay. I was planning on going out of town to celebrate.
Hmm.
We were gonna take like a 4-day weekend. Unfortunately, the very first day of that 4-day weekend on Thursday, we've got a kitty named Ace who is
Hmm.
16 years old, had a stroke
Oh no.
and could not use his back legs, which was
Oh no.
terrifying. So we took him to a vet.
Hmm.
Um, said that he had they told us what was going on. We were Googling things and we are afraid that he was having some like, well, I mean, it was a serious issue, condition, but we were thinking it was something more fatal. Um,
Mm.
and luckily he has so far in just the few days, we had to cancel our going out of town trip to take care of him, nurse him back
Oh
to health. But
no.
since then, he's back on all four legs again. He's talking to us. He's always been a very talkative cat,
Hmm.
meowing at us. He's eating on his own again. So that's good for me. It kind of put a damper on like the whole birthday party thing, but
Hmm.
honestly, like
Right.
not having to say goodbye just yet is honestly like the best birthday present that I think I could have been given this year. So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
that
man, wow, that's crazy.
that
Holy
was
crap. We both had a hell of a week.
it was extremely what an emotional
Yeah.
roller coaster of a week for sure. Uh,
Wow, man.
Now that said, Soul Hackers video came out on Friday, so if you're
Mhm.
interested in my first impressions of that, go check it out. I had a blast. In fact, I do have an update for you for everybody who was curious because I did mention that I would probably go out and buy a copy.
Mhm.
I did, so
Oh,
I put my money where my
nice.
mouth is on this one, as I tend to do, and I went ahead and got a copy for the wall.
Wow. So they sent you a copy and then you went out and bought one anyway.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So can we talk about it now? Now that the
Oh
embargo
yeah,
is out, can we talk
sure.
about it now? Yeah. So this man here last Sunday
Uh
was
huh.
too busy playing Soul Hackers 2 that he completely ignored all my messages. And that's the reason why we didn't have a Sunday show. So there we go. Now
Yeah.
we can talk about it. Because
Yep.
before I was like, can't talk about it. Yep. He was just busy doing a thing,
I
and
copped
that's
to it
why.
last week. I copped to it at least. I was forthright about why the episode was delayed, and it's
Yes.
because I lost track of time playing a game. And
Now,
yeah,
now you guys know what game that is. This is Stow Hackers too. Like this dude is having so much fun playing the game. Just ignore all sense of time. Ignored every message that I sent him on Discord. I was like, hey, it's like 7. I was like, oh no, it was like 7 o'clock. I'm like, hey Derek, I'll see you for 7:30 for setup. And then 7:20 came. I'm like, hey Derek, are you around? And then like 7:35 comes along and start getting nervous. Like, hey, are you alive? Like
yeah. Hey, yeah. I mean, hey, let me tell you. You know, that was I was younger then. I,
that was Derek's version 3.5. 3.6
exactly.
is going to be different.
Way
Okay.
way different. You know, bug
Way different.
fixes, a little less memory than usual, but otherwise, you know, a little bit wiser. Um,
we,
More
we, we
efficient
tend to
cores,
we try to think so.
better efficiency cores at this point.
Better efficiency course.
So anyways,
uh,
my plans though are that this week I'm probably going to start streaming on Twitch again, starting on Monday,
oh,
Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's the plan.
mhm.
Hopefully I can stick to that.
People have been asking.
I know. So,
Yeah.
and we're gonna start with Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Just gonna
Hmm.
play through that, a nice short GBA RPG before we dive into Soul Hackers to give everybody else time to play ahead of me if they are, you know, avoiding spoilers and that sort of thing. So, um, anyways, that about takes care of the pre-show discussion. Well, sort of.
Hmm.
I do want to
Hmm.
ask you real quick about what our top headline might be, Baku.
There are these two games that are of legendary status. They're looking for revivals, and we're going to talk about it today.
Yeah, we will talk about that.
Mm.
Uh, but like I said, there's about 15 other RPGs we're also going to talk about. So
Mm.
stick around to make sure you don't miss out on those. And some of these legitimately have me incredibly excited. And those aren't
Yes.
even those two. It's great. So
Hmm.
we did leave our audience last week with a couple of side questions. And I thought we should go ahead and take a look at some of those responses here. So do you want to lead
Yes.
with the first one?
Sure. If I can pronounce the name, of course. Kafuthi Elthi.
Nailed it.
I am, yeah, definitely butchering this person's name. We asked about the best and worst battle theme. Here's what this person has to say. Favorite battle theme: Golden Sun, Battle, Fusion Dragon. Least favorite, not exactly dislike, but meh. Battle theme: Dragon Quest 11 battle theme.
Hmm.
Dragon Quest battle. What does it even sound like? I can't.
It sounds like a MIDI.
11, really?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it
Hmm.
depends on the release you're playing. The one that I played, yeah, it was not wonderful. It was not his best. Um,
That's unfortunate.
well, I mean, actually, I
Um,
mean, Dragon Quest 11 actually, it used a mix of all the different battle themes actually from
huh,
maybe not
really?
all of them, but a bunch of them. So it was like a
Hmm.
mix of greatest hits, and then it had a few original compositions, and they weren't the strongest in the bunch.
Uh, yeah, that's a little unfortunate. I'm still looking forward to playing that game. I heard it's stupid long, so.
Yeah.
We also got an S Hyde who says Persona 3 best game. And Mass Destruction. All Lotus Juice tracks. Great.
Yeah,
Lotus Juice. That's the rapper guy, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Mass
yeah,
Destruction just gives me PTSD.
I know
That
it's got a very jarring intro.
mm. It reminds me of Tartarus. It's every time I hear like Mass Destruction, it's just Tartarus
It's
all over
because
again.
that's the only time that you were ever in combat was in Tartarus. I mean, let's just face it,
Mm.
Tartarus was a good way to ruin any battle theme because it
Mm.
was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Then we had Ahmed Al Himali. I
Mhm.
probably butchered that. Who says, "We're not here for the news. There's Silicon Era for that. We're here for your opinions on the news." And that's what I like to believe anyway.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for that. That's what
Yeah.
I keep telling Derek. So, I
Someday I
think
might
thank you
believe
for
it.
affirming it. Thank you for confirming that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then we got another one here from Mushy who says, YouTube stopped recommending your videos for some reason. This is the third now that I've had to manually check if you uploaded. Well, it's always disheartening to hear that. Because
Yeah, like we're putting on the show, like we're putting the effort. We want you to watch it, and you want to watch it, and somehow there's that disconnect. That just blows.
yeah,
Uh, but hey, if you haven't done so already, hit that bell icon. See that join, and then subscribe, and then there's a bell icon. Hit the bell icon so
only
that
if you feel like it. That's
yeah,
fine.
only if you want to.
Don't
Only
worry
if you
about it.
want to make sure you don't miss the show. It might be slightly better than manually checking it. Just
Meh.
just a little bit. I don't know.
I
I don't
I
know.
I don't know. I kind of suspect that there's YouTube just keeps adding more and more options behind that bell icon because now you have to
Mhm.
select if you want all notifications or just sub notifications. It's like YouTube,
Really?
did I effing stutter? Like if I click the bell, it like they're just adding
Oh,
more
you're
and more barriers.
right.
I am
It's
not.
like personalized and all. It's like
Yeah,
oh
it's like
jeez.
YouTube. I kind of want to see the things that I want to see, and I don't want you to make those decisions on my behalf. But anyways, we also have a new voicemail here that we can go ahead and play.
Yay.
We actually have a couple, and I'm still
Mhm.
catching up. So if you left a voicemail last week, we'll get to it next week. But you can
We'll
leave us
get
a
to them.
voicemail at 785-337-3805 and be featured on the air just like this person.
Hey, what's up, Hit Pointers? This is Josh from California. So we've established that you guys might not be the RPG guys, but you're still some RPG guys. So I guess I wanted to know, since you've had, a decent exposure to games, are there any game devs over the years that you wish stuck around, that went out of business, stopped making games, that you wish were still around to be making stuff? Personally, Quintet on the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom era, that's probably going to be my choice. Terra Enigma, Illusion of Gaia, great games, but just I don't know. I don't know exactly how they ended up stopping, but I wish they were still around. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me know, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Josh stole your answer just now.
I think he did. I mean, I had some other options in the back of my
Mhm.
mind because of recent
Mhm.
events. So I'm thinking like Media
Mhm.
Vision, Sacknoth, Studio Alex, Game Arts, things like that. But yeah, Quintet, man. Yeah, it's a solid answer, and it's the correct answer. I mean, they were at the top of their game until the shift to 3D or to well, we used to
Yeah.
call it 3D, but now it's polygonal games is the more accurate way of putting it.
Yes.
With when they started doing things under the name of Shade and they made the Grand Stream Saga,
Mhm.
that was not their best work. But yeah, man, Quintet was still is one of the best developers of all time of RPGs, especially of the 2D top down. Of the top down action RPG variety, the best.
Mhm.
You know, and it's a real shame that they don't make anything anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, what would you say though, Baku? Because this is actually a question I don't think I know what you would respond with.
I have a couple. So off the top of my head, Sting is they're not exactly gone, but they mess well be gone.
Hmm.
Like they made the what is it Rivera games and
Oh yeah.
Department Heaven.
Okay.
Those games. So Sting is one. And then yeah, they don't really make any more games from that series, and it's very depressing. And then Japan Studio, that one's really closed. Japan Studio is the studio that made Gravity Rush or Gravity Days, which was
Oh,
like highly acclaimed
yeah.
action game that are notorious for making Mr. Invalid vomit. Um, because the way that the gravity shifts and the camera
Yeah.
angle like really throws like some people off, but it was like an incredible game, great story, great art, and then like that got closed, and then Sony has like no plans on making a third game, so that was just really depressing. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, so to dive further into another answer to that question that wasn't stolen out from under me preemptively. No, I do think Game Arts is probably the one company that I really wish was still in action.
Hmm.
Game Arts is the company that was behind Lunar and Grandia,
Yeah.
and man, like yeah, uh, unfortunately they just they don't make games anymore, and I think
Did
that
the
right
rights
now,
get bought out at all?
oh,
No.
they got purchased recently.
Oh.
Uh, they got purchased by Gung Ho Online
Oh,
Entertainment,
okay.
and that's why the Luna, yeah, yeah, that's
Mm,
why the Grandia games got the HD remasters. So
mm,
they're trying to get their money's worth out of those games,
mhm,
and hopefully we'll eventually see more come from that. But at this point, it really feels like they're just gonna pump out a couple of remasters and
mhm,
then wash their hands. Because I mean,
mm.
Gung Ho, I don't know what they make. I think they're more of a publisher.
Gunho, I've heard their names a couple of times. I just can't remember what they have done.
Yeah, I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm just talking out of my butt, but
Yeah.
that could be. But anyways, thank you so much for that voicemail. And if you have a burning question that you would like to leave for us, you may do so at 785-337-3805. Or if you're international and you just feel like sending us a voice file and avoiding those international dialing fees, you can do
Mhm.
so at hitpoint@superderekRPGs.com. Otherwise, if you also have burning questions that you can't wait until next week for, you can also just shoot us a super chat and we'll respond to those at the end of the episode. But
Absolutely cannot wait. Just do it today.
but now we have the main show. And oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Let's dive into this, Baku.
All right. Let's kick this thing off. Let's talk about some updates. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Capcom announced that the update 2 to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak will arrive in late September. The free title update will add flaming Espinas subspecies and other rare subspecies and powered up monsters, whatever that means. But we do have a short trailer, one of many trailers you'll be watching today on this game. So let's take a look.
You betcha. Uh, yeah, maybe this will provide us
Title
some
update 2.
some answers about what those powered up monsters might be or mean. Was that a
I mean,
chimera?
they all look super powerful and
I mean, yeah,
flaming
they kind of
Espina.
do.
Yes, that's what the subspecies are being added right there. Yes.
Oh, coming
So
late
yes, this is
September.
going to be a free update. I like announcing free stuff because free is great. And then of course there's a title update coming in the winter too, as you can see from the trailer. So, Monster Hunter fans rejoice. I've got so many friends who are like really into this game right now.
I
So I hope you
know.
guys are just having a lot of fun.
I wish that I
Oh,
was more into these games. I
same.
just can't. So far.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try again in a couple more releases or something, but
Yeah.
um hey, well we have that covers it for updates to games that have already been released. Now,
Yes.
we have upcoming releases for this week, starting with Dusk Diver 2, which is a Taiwanese action RPG which is returning with a release trailer that we can go ahead and watch right now.
Yes. The sound for this is a little strange. I gotta give you a heads up.
Oh, for
Like,
this,
yeah, the you'll see.
huh? It's let
Nothing
me
nothing's wrong right now, but
for
oh, it's not
some
as
reason,
hmm?
I was gonna say for some reason the thing is not actually playing the trailer.
I'm watching it.
Oh, it's playing for you?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
Well,
it's not playing for me.
do you
Um,
want to restart the thing, Bob?
yeah. Let me
Yeah.
see. Um, okay. Let me try this instead.
Okay. Well, so while Derek's doing the thing, hello everybody. Thank you so for all the folks who were like waiting to see our the show today. I was like just genuinely surprised how many people are available Sunday afternoon to hang out. So thank you again. It just really helps out with, you know, the algorithm. The algorithm.
Praise be. All hail the
Yes.
almighty algorithm. All right. Almost ready. Sorry about this wait, guys. I'm switching to
Yeah.
Chrome because Firefox has failed me.
Oh no, not Firefox. Although I'm watching it on Firefox right now.
Yeah, I think it just isn't playing well with my video driver for some reason. So,
Yeah.
yep, almost ready though.
Almost. We're almost there. Yeah. So
So, are
I
you
am.
gonna read the chat? Gonna interact with the chat,
I am
Baku?
going to try to read chat. You know, reading chat is not my. It's not my forte.
I know that's why I said it.
Oh yeah, that's there's a lot of words happening in chat right now. It's almost like I don't stream ever.
Okay, all right, let's try this now.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
It's working. It's working. Hey, there
Hey,
we
there it is.
go.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Oh, so this
Yeah,
is
I
coming out
really
this week.
yeah, I really don't like the
What?
like the music that the music that happens once they start like doing the the battles just sounds really off. Like right now it's still okay,
Okay.
right?
Does it switch to like dubstep or something?
No. You hear that sound
Oh,
effect? It sounds like they like took
highly
like
compressed.
a recorder and like recorded like the TV
Yeah.
playing the music. I'm like, why does it sound so distorted and distant?
Yeah.
Like what?
It
Not
sounds
a
like
good look
it's
for a release trailer.
it sounds like it's
Kind of
gosh,
muffled.
not muffled, super compressed, like
Yeah.
really low bit rate.
Yeah, it's just not a good look. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? This is your release trailer. This is your like last hurrah before like, you know, people
Yeah.
buying the game. So yeah, that was unfortunate. But hey, that's their latest trailer. So I'm, you know, if it's good enough for them to release it, then it's good enough for me to show it to you all. So it's what it
Hopefully,
is.
hopefully that's just some sort of weird artifact that's being resolved.
For the YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping too, because boy, someone's getting fired over this. But the game does look pretty good, so
Sure.
So if you're a big fan of like action type titles, I think this one is pretty compelling.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that audio that's rough.
Yeah.
By the way, I gotta say, it's distracting how those jiggle physics are just completely out of control. Like,
Well, I can't I can't say I was paying attention to it, but you know.
I'm just saying that at a certain point, like it goes beyond just like, overdone and just becomes like a distraction, and it's just like it's like fighting with bobbleheads. It's just like everything like a wacky wavy inflatable balloon man kind of thing, only only tied to a
Oh
character.
no.
So anyways,
Anyways, yeah, so this game is coming out
yeah, it's
soon.
coming
Yeah.
out on the 30th. So that's
Mm-hmm.
just a day and a half away. It's coming
Yes.
to PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. Although there is currently no English dub, but it will have the original Mandarin voiceover for that extra authenticity.
I
Which
think it's great. Yes.
I mean, if you can actually make out what they're saying with all of that, like speaking through a pillow sound quality,
I'm hoping that's not the case for the actual game because
I
I've
think.
seen
uh,
yeah, I've seen the previous game. It was fine, so I'm pretty sure it's just this video. But
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're
yeah.
interested, I might hold off. Just hesitate. Watch
Hmm.
somebody play it on Twitch or something first. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe Bakusan JRPG here, who sometimes
Mm-hmm.
plays games on Twitch, and find out if they've fixed it or not. Because, wow,
Yeah, that was something else. But yeah, the game does takes place in Taiwan, so yes, the Mandarin I believe is actually the original voice dub, so that's pretty cool. I
yeah,
like seeing like new games, so people can stop accusing me of just like preferring Japanese voiceovers. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play this in Mandarin this time. um, all right, so we got another game called Prinny Presents Nipponichi Software Classics Volume 3. So Volume 3 comes with La Pucelle, Ragnarok, and Rhapsody, not magical, musical
musical.
adventure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, Rhapsody is going to be a plain remaster, whereas La Pucelle is going to come with extra content like new scenarios, new recruits, new voices, new music. So it's not like just a plain remaster. You're going to get some extra value from this version of La Pucelle Ragnarok. Yes, so no trailers for this, but the
hmm
game is also coming out on August 30th for North America for the Switch only. For our European viewers, this game is going to come out for you for September 2nd, and for Australian, New Zealand viewers, it's going to come out on September 9th. Reason why there are three separate dates, I have no idea, but it is what it is.
interesting. That is,
Yeah,
I don't know. All right.
different region, different dates. Yeah.
Moving along, coming out this week, we also have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All Star Battles R.
Oh, this one looks good.
JoJo fans will not want to miss out on this ultra stylish fighting game with 50 playable characters. And we do have a trailer for this as well, so we'll go
Did
ahead and
have a
play
trailer,
that.
yeah. It's a pretty long one. We probably won't watch the whole thing. It's like 5 minutes long. So, but we'll watch some of it.
最近やたら目につくこのゲームジョジョの奇妙な冒険オールスターバトル R 発売は9月かそのゲームロハン
Huh.
先生も買うんです
The audio quality on this one is also a little weird, isn't it?
なんだ
Is it?
光一君は知っているのか
I mean, not half as bad as the other one. The other one was like horrendous.
一緒に見ていきましょう
Are people just like screwing up on YouTube videos? Is that it?
スタイリッシュ対戦格闘ゲームで登場
Huh.
時代も世代も超え50名の選手たち
That sounds normal to you?
Yes. Is it not sounding normal for you?
Yeah, there's something weird going on with my audio, I think.
Oh no.
It sounds like it's coming-
Is it Chrome?
It might be Chrome. Oh my gosh, I hope not.
No.
But it sounds like everything's coming through like a tube.
力を貯めて
Huh.
強力な攻撃につなげ
No, this one actually sounds fine for me. What
Okay.
about you guys watching?
Yeah. If you, in the chat, let me know. Does this sound really weird to you guys
let
too?
us know in chat.
人間を超えた超生物僕はできれば会いたくないですね
It's got that weird tube sound. Okay.
Tube sound? Yeah, dude. I think it's Chrome, man.
取られた人
Uh,
動きが制限されてるみたいですよ
I'll see if I can sort it out while we talk about the next
Yeah.
next game here.
ドアと似た能力なのか
向かい風ってのは相葉が走るのを助けるためにあるんだ
Mounted? Oh, they're characters that are mounted.
人たちも
What?
Oh, that's good dope.
Oh, it's just mounted attacks maybe, like
Yeah.
specials. Interesting.
Oh, what? Oh, there it is. Oh no 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 no! no. Yes.
Oh man.
Oh my god, this thing is crazy gorgeous. I mean, yes, I know this sounds weird right now for y'all, but like, let's just look at like just the art for the game, like all the effects and stuff. That's like this is super stylish, man. I love this.
Oh man. You know what? I bet I know what it
A
is.
stylish guard.
All right. Do you want to keep watching this trailer, or should we move
Nah,
on?
I'm good. I think this is good enough.
Okay.
So yeah, so there you go. That's what we wanted to show. Um,
All right.
so while Derek is doing the video thing,
Okay, I think I
uh,
fixed it already. I think I
oh,
know what the issue was, but
did you
don't worry
do?
about me. No, don't.
Okay,
I still
okay.
had Firefox going on in the background. It wouldn't load the previous video, but it loaded that one, and then it had some weird
Oh,
audio canceling out. Kind
oh,
of. Oh, it's just weird. Okay, but we're
okay.
fine now.
Anyways, yes. So this game is coming out on September 2nd, releasing on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, PC via Steam. Go get it.
Nice.
All of you JoJo fans, you guys need to be posing as you're playing this game. Like pose during the loading screen, always. Whenever possible, pose. When you defeat your opponent, pose. Everyone needs to pose in between. Um, but yes, okay. So we've got another game called Made in Abyss, Binary Star Falling into Darkness. This is a anime tie-in game that features an original story that roughly follows the plot of the series. And we've got, of course, you guessed it, another trailer. Let's take a look at that.
You betcha. And this time, it won't sound weird. I promise.
Let's hope so.
Much
How about
better.
now? Oh yeah.
And I know last time this came up, I mentioned that I hadn't played or watched Made in Abyss.
Have you
Uh,
watched it now?
No, I still haven't, and I need to. I know that it gets really dark. It is deceptively cute.
Mhm.
I think this was like something that came up when we were watching a few trailers, actually.
Yeah,
Kind
probably.
of back to back to back, that featured a really cutesy art style and then just a gut punch shortly
Yeah,
thereafter.
that's what this game is like. Yeah, so for those who are not aware of what this is, Main Abyss is, I believe, it's either a manga or light novel that got made into an anime, and it was like super popular. There was an anime film that sold out like everywhere. It was fantastic. This is the tie-in game with a somewhat original story that
Mhm.
follows the plots of the original story. And So you can think of it as like the original story, but like a little bit reimagined. And it will probably go into the movie, but not second season of the anime, which is actually airing right now on
Okay.
High Dive, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so the second season is actually being aired right now. If anyone wants to know, like the watch order to this is first season, the movie, and then second season. So you won't be lost because the movie's actually canon.
Wow.
Some anime movies are not canon. Like I
Yeah.
don't know any of the Bleach movies.
Or
None of them are
all of the
canon.
Dragon Ball movies.
All the Dragon Ball movies. Wait a minute. What's his
Dead
name
Zone?
is canon? No,
Oh,
what's his
Broly?
name? Yeah, I thought Broly was canon.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Hmm.
Dead Zone was the one that got closest to being canon because of the Garlic Jr. saga that got added, but that was also filler. It was a filler arc that tied into a filler movie.
Yeah. Not to say Bleach movies were bad. Actually, one of the movie was like pretty good, but yeah, it was not canon. For
But yeah.
Made in Abyss, the movie is canon, so you got to watch that.
Now,
Yeah.
for everybody who has, I mean, we've hinted at it. This game gets really dark. The show
Yeah.
gets really dark. It looks like a Ghibli film. It ain't. This is not for kids. I mean, okay, yeah, you can see that now.
This is not for kids. Please do not. This is not for kids. This is not a nope. This is the nope.
Ah, man, how crazy, right? Ah, that looks
Yes,
great. So that's
it
coming out
looks
on
great.
September 2nd, uh,
Yes,
just around the corner.
just around the corner. I got the
Oh,
limited edition, so Amazon don't fail me.
oh, I
I
don't know.
swear, Amazon, if you mess this up, I'm canceling my account.
Yep. Man, speaking of Amazon canceling accounts, I've just been on the verge of canceling my Prime for like
Oh
the
yeah.
last couple of months. It seems like
Mm.
nothing. It used to be like everything on Prime. Oh yeah, you get it in 2 days. Now it's like, oh well, you might get it in 2 days. You might get it in 5 days. You might get it in a month. It's like,
Oh jeez.
yeah, it's really a toss up at this point. Like half the stuff I want these days is like, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it to me anymore. I'm
Mm.
keeping it around for the next Grand Tour episode though. At least I can tell you that much. But
Yeah.
anyways,
No,
that's
I
way off topic. So
yeah, no, it's a remember, people are here for that. People
that's
are here
true.
for that. Yeah. You know, for Amazon, you know, everything is still arriving for 2 days for Prime for me so
Hmm.
far. But you know, we'll see if that
You
changes. Then
you
I'll be
are
in
a
it.
little more metropolitan though, and I
Yes.
am more Kansas. So yeah, you're in a metropolis. I'm in Kansas. Slight
Hmm.
differences, I guess.
Yeah.
It's probably to be
Only
expected. But it
only
hadn't
so
been an
much.
issue for a while, but now it's just
Mm.
like constant. So yeah,
I think it's probably because they don't have enough drivers to like do the deliveries. To be honest,
yeah.
like everywhere short staff,
But also,
everywhere.
but also, Amazon's. Let's face it, they're also a terrible company, and
Yeah.
I also just don't like giving money to Jeffrey Bezos. So yeah,
That's probably the thing that makes me really want to like not give them any more money. It's just like it's just
I
mm,
know. Fewer phallic rockets in space, please.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to fund that. All right,
But
moving
yeah.
along to some game announcements. You want to lead in with this subject here?
All right. So, for those of you guys who've been keeping up with, you know, all the affairs in the game industry, Gamescom just happened. Gamescom is a video game trade fair, and that's their words. That happened between August 23rd and August 28th, which is today,
Hmm.
in Germany, and showed us many trailers for the games that we've been following. So we'll take a look at a couple of them. Just
Yeah,
a heads up, you know, if there are games that we didn't talk about in this show, is because I deliberately not choose to talk about it, at least from Gamescom. Just, you know,
yeah,
we have way too many games to talk about, so it's not like I don't want to, but I had to pick and choose. So
yeah,
if you do see something missing, yes, again, it is on purpose. It is editorial. It just is what it is.
yeah. We might
But
catch it next time around if not. Um,
yeah,
but let's go ahead and
in future episodes,
yeah.
yes.
No, like you said, we have almost 20 games that we're talking about. So some cuts had to be made in order
Yes.
for us to be able to sleep tonight. So let's lead in with this one. We've talked about it a little bit already, and I'm really on the fence about it so far. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
this trailer will pull me over one side or the other. It's Sonic Frontier, and it got a new trailer. So it's confirmed released leak some previously leaked release dates of the 8th of September of this year. So let's take a look at the trailer and
November, November,
I'm sorry, November of November. Thank you.
November.
Because the first
I
couple
think
of like
people will
gameplay
freak
trailers,
out if it was September.
yeah. Yeah, the first couple of
Oh,
trailers were
what the heck happened to that?
Submit.
he got
Oh,
he got Sonic'd.
Your
it got
recognition
saved.
endanger the world.
Yeah, the first couple trailers were just gameplay like
Mhm.
demos,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of curious to see what kind of narrative they can string together with this.
So
Because
there's
they're
some,
calling it an RPG, right?
yeah.
So
So
and
there's some 2D elements I just saw, kind of like Paper Mario kind of situation. Well, not Paper Mario, but is that Amy?
maybe hard to
Oh,
say.
What's that one game where like from Mario, it's like it goes from like 3D to 2D and then
Yeah,
like back.
New Super Paper Mario or something like that
It is Paper
on
Mario.
Wii
Okay.
U. It
Yeah.
was the Wii version,
I
which
think it
was
has
the
some
worst
kind of
one.
elements.
Yeah.
You cannot run forever.
Interesting. Okay, this reminds me a lot of like Twilight Princess so far, mixed with
Mm.
Sonic.
I like this dark, like slightly darker, like undertone. I appreciate that. Wow. Okay. I think they redeemed a little bit. I mean, I'm not the target audience. Like, I'm not a Sonic fan, and I'm not like big on open world, like kind of like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, like Mario sort of game. I don't know what's a good word for it, but like, I'm not the target audience, but I know that a lot of you guys are. So I wanted to make it a point to talk about this.
Oh, we have Sonic fans here. If that's the case, I apologize for all of the low-hanging fruit jokes that I've made at your expense over
No.
the last several episodes. Um no.
Look, I mean,
No,
look,
but seriously,
the movies
the
did
movies
really
were
good. So clearly,
mhm,
we have fans. Yeah.
yeah. I'm a fan of like the earlier Sonic games. It's just the let's face it, since the Sega Genesis and a little bit beyond, it's been hard living being a Sonic fan, right? So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how many people at this point still consider themselves Sonic fans. Oh, they did have the new Sonic game that was actually really good. The 2D Sonic
Mania.
Mania. Yeah, that was.
There are definitely what is it? There are definitely some kind of what is it? Controversy with Mania.
Uh,
Yes, definitely some kind of controversy.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was acclaimed, so there's that. So, like that wasn't even like a glorious win. I think people were like really looking for like it's just a glorious comeback of like the Sonic. So maybe this is it. I don't know, Sonic fans. Maybe look, just have some hopes, man. Have
All
some
right.
hopes. Yes.
Well, let's go ahead and move along. Oh, I do need to clarify. It is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S, X, and Nintendo Switch and PC. So keep your eyes
Yes.
peeled for that if you still consider yourself a fan, or if maybe this trailer has pulled you over to one side. I do feel like, just based on what I saw, though, that seems to be a little bit more up my alley, at least given like a little bit of that extra story.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay itself, the trailer just seemed out of place and weird before just the teaser
Yeah,
that we
it's
saw.
just mm,
But
like
this
why are
seems
you even
better.
here? Like what is all this? It's just you just kind of get thrown into the world. It's like no explanation, just whatever. And it didn't even look all that great. And people were like, just yeah, people were not happy with what they saw. Hopefully this changed some of your minds. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's move on to another game that was showcased in Gamescom, and this game is called The Lies of P, which just I can't with this title, but okay. It is a Pinocchio themed Souls-like game that has a new. I know, I know, I know, I know. And we'll talk about it too because I
Mhm.
know why you're laughing. We've got a new trailer for us. Let's take a look at that. The Lies of P.
All right. In honor of the writer Carlo Collodi.
So that's the original author of Pinocchio, like the
Okay.
original, like
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the
the
guy behind the
non-Disney
original, kind of like
version.
Hans Christian Andersen was the writer
Yes,
of all of the other Disney
yeah,
cartoons back in the
mm-hmm,
day.
yeah. This looks fantastic, by the way.
But you can change that.
Yeah. Okay.
Depends on the choice you make.
So we did look at it. We did look at a trailer a little bit when we first talked about it, but this time it's
Ugh.
got like actual gameplay, I believe.
Oof.
Yeah.
I am speechless. This looks really nicely put together so
Mm-hmm.
far.
Too much of you.
Yeah, it's got the steampunk esque, aesthetics
But I
going
don't
on.
have a
Uh-huh.
choice. Only you can do
Wow.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Help me.
I'm still waiting to see the combat because this is somewhere just should sit somewhere
Yeah.
between like a Souls game and like a Nier Automata game. I want to see which way it leans towards.
Finally, we meet. Son.
Oh, okay.
Stories, man, exposition. Now give me some gameplay.
Is set. The light shines brightest.
A little bit of gameplay there,
A
maybe.
little bit. Come on, show me more. Oh, there it is.
Okay, yeah, definitely looks a
Ooh.
bit more Bloodborne-y, I think.
Yeah. It's got magic.
Keep
It's got that delay. It's got that like when you swing, you know, you can
Yeah.
feel like the weight of the weapon kind
Exactly.
of matter. You can't just like go in like hacking.
Yeah, you got to commit to these attacks.
Yeah.
Who's the developer on this?
NeoWiz.
protect.
NeoWiz.
NeoWiz.
Okay. Yeah,
NeoWiz.
yeah. Somebody else in the comments says, in the chat says it's kind of Bioshocky. I can definitely see that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lies of P.
Destiny.
Probably less shooter, right? But it's definitely got that what do we call it? The
Oh, there is more to
aesthetics.
this trailer actually. What's going on here?
As an Undertaker guy. Why is
Kind of
there
looks like
random
Frank
band?
from Donnie Darko. Yeah, it's got the crazy people, I think. That's part of what makes it kind of Bioshocky.
And that's the that's the person you're gonna romance, of course.
Oh, of course.
Of course. And that's the final boss. Liar.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Uh-huh. That was that was a lot just to call me a liar.
Jeez, I know.
Yeah, right? Wow, okay. Just tell me how you really feel.
So, man, they have certainly got my attention though with that.
Mm,
Wow.
it looks good. It looks good. All right.
I'm
So
probably not
let's
gonna
talk
play
about
it
Hmm?
because it's. I mean, to be honest, I mean, it looks good, and I think
Mhm.
that people who are really jonesing for some more like Bloodborne style games, this looks a bit more Bloodborne that, at least thematically and like
Mhm.
tonally, you know,
Mhm.
I think. But yeah, I think people who have been waiting for more Bloodborne will be very interested in seeing this.
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about like the elephant in the room. That's not a nose joke, I promise. So why Pinocchio, right? Why Pinocchio? I think everyone asked like why Pinocchio? What is up with this? Well, it has nothing to do with the nose, that's for sure. In an interview with IGN, the series director Ji-won Choi explains that when you think about Pinocchio, people will think about Disney, but Disney made Pinocchio a little childish.
Yep.
If you actually look at the original Pinocchio story, it's pretty dark and it's for adults. So yeah, so the inspiration to this is definitely not the I want to be a boy Pinocchio, but more like the original European story
Yeah.
of Pinocchio, which I admittedly I don't know what it is, but I'll take his words for it. It's probably darker because we've seen Little Mermaid, and like Little Mermaid's definitely way darker in the
Oh
original
God.
story.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because that was
It's
like
just like-
originally a Japanese story, wasn't it?
no, it's definitely a European story.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, in the original story, the Little Mermaid loses their voice, full legs, and then meets the
Oh,
prince.
I remember
The
now.
prince can't hear anything she says, and out of depression, she just like, I think what happens is she like dives back into the ocean and drowns, and
And turns back into sea foam.
yes, and
Yeah.
so yeah, Little Mermaid, it's rough.
Yeah. So that one
but
was
yeah.
Hans Christian Andersen. I wasn't sure. There's
Yeah.
another Japanese one. I think about a mermaid that's similar, but I could be mistaken at this point. It's been so long.
Yeah,
Wow.
but anyways, yeah. So This game is coming in sometime in 2023 for PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and the PC. So check
All
that
right.
out.
So we have another game that was also announced called Phantom Hellcat. It's a near inspired action game that was announced by Polish publisher All In Games. The game stars Jolene, a woman who breaks the seal of a cursed theater and then is tasked with saving it. So
Yes.
let's see how it is to be Jolene trying to support the theater.
Let's see how this is a near inspired action game. That's what I'm really interested in.
Oh, she's got a Walkman. So
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope. I can see the inspiration. It's pretty cool. Very stylish actions. Goes in that 2D like
oh, that's a very short
platformy-
trailer.
Yeah, oh, we've got long and short trailers, yeah, but that there you go. That's that actually looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited to see more.
Yeah, I wish that there was a little bit more to it, but hey,
Mhm.
I'm guessing that this had a lot of trailers at this show. So
Yeah, no, this is just an announcement trailer. So we'll as there are gameplay trailers like for example the Liza P. We actually showed
Yeah.
a teaser trailer before
Mhm.
some time ago, but now we're seeing like a longer trailer. So hopefully that's going to be the case with Phantom Hellcat. Like we
So
see
it-
the short one now. In a month or two, we'll see like a longer one.
yeah, I mean at this point
Yeah.
there's not even a release date, but
Yeah.
they say that's coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the series consoles. So
Yes.
keep your eyes peeled for that.
Okay, this next one is gonna get JRPG fans really excited. I don't know if you ever heard of this game called the Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I might have mentioned it a couple of times in the show. I don't know. But there's a new trailer that they showed in the in the trade fair. So let's take a look at that.
Can I just say I saw somebody tweeted this at me, so that
Oh yeah.
and I refused to watch it because I wanted to watch it for the show.
Oh okay. Well,
So,
let's do it.
Had to save it for myself for now, and I am so
I
tired
haven't
of
watched
waiting.
It. I haven't watched it either. If it makes you feel better.
Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes.
Okay.
A brand
High
new,
quality.
high quality
Ooh,
JRPG.
yeah.
I'm glad they
Certainly looks high
verified that,
quality.
as opposed to all that other schlock.
It looks like they're the two like main characters situation. One is like kind of like maybe like the rebels kind of deal, and one is like in the army kind of deal. This is what
Uh-huh.
I'm getting from just looking at it.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting
Which
a
we've seen.
kind of
yeah,
getting a
well-
little bit of that like Xenogears kind of feel
Was
to
this
it.
Xenogear?
Well, Xenogears had the Fae, and then I can't remember the gal's name who joined you, but they were kind of from opposing factions but had to team up, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of that vibe from this.
I'm getting a Abyss and Vesperia kind of vibe. Maybe Vesperia?
Oh.
One of the Tales games. Yep, nope, there it is.
And maybe this was like their introduction at the beginning of the game or something.
Ooh.
Oh,
I see. Oh my God, more details in Tokyo Game Show. That's right. So,
TGS.
yes, the developer Rabbit and Bear Studios promised that they will give us more news at the Tokyo Game Show in September, and we'll talk a little bit about TGS 2022 coming up. But just know that there will be more coming soon next month, and we're definitely going to come back and revisit this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, how excited are you from like 1 to 10? Like honestly,
I am trying my best to hype responsibly. I wore my shirt, my hype responsibly shirt that you can
To
get
watch
at
this.
shop.superderekRPGs.com to help remind you to hype responsibly. I don't know how well it's working though for me because I'm feeling a little irresponsible at the moment, but I'm doing my best to stay responsibly hyped.
Mhm.
I'll reel it back in. That's something for me to work on soon.
Man,
How about
I've gotta
you?
say, I love how it looks. I've been excited since like the first trailer, and I know it's wrong, is not what I preach.
Mhm.
And I keep telling people to like, do as I say, not as I do, because I am not hyping. I am very irresponsible with the hyping with this one. I backed it all the way from like day 2, I
Yep.
think, of
Hmm.
the game, and it's been years, and they keep sending me updates, and I keep refusing to look at any of the updates.
I know. I don't read them
Uh,
up either, but I should, but I don't.
yeah, I'm like, I want you to give me something substantial. It's like, oh,
I
we made a
know.
new character. That's fine. Give me like something more substantial.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit more substantial. So
Yeah. Don't give
great.
me a crumb at a time. Give me the whole cookie at a time, please.
Yeah, please. I please. So this game is still on track for 2023. It will be on PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and the PC when it is available. But of course, you can always play the prequel game, which is out right now to actually pretty good acclaim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I even
surprisingly.
reviewed it
Yeah.
on my experience points. It was Eiyuden Chronicle. Geez, what was the
I
Rising?
don't
Eiyuden
remember. Yeah.
Chronicle Rising. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
it's
That game.
it's it's a hard sell because it's like a 2D side-scrolling action RPG that is
Hmm.
mostly fetch quests, but it's actually good. Despite all of that, it's still fun, and I
Yeah.
recommend checking it out.
I actually saw characters from that game in that trailer just
I
now. So
know.
I'm just like,
Ain't that cool?
oh,
Ain't
so
that
there you
cool?
go. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right, so the next game that was announced is Where Winds Meet. It's from a Chinese developer, Everstone Studio. Then this is an action RPG based off of the Song Dynasty. So, as a swordsman, the player has grown up amid a sea. I'm sorry, grown up amid this era of war and conflict, and must face the many tough choices in a swordsman's destiny as a division and unrest are about to come to an end on the stage of the Northern Song Dynasty.
Yes. Let's take a look.
All right, where the winds meet.
Where winds meet, which sounds like a Ghibli studio movie.
Where the wild winds are.
No, they have The Wind Rises. That was one. I think
All
Chinese
right.
developers come a long way. This is actually a lot better than anything that I would imagine they'd be able to make in just like even just 5, 6 years ago. So, um, happy to see that they're making like strides and bringing unique content.
Yeah. So far it looking a lot like a, you know, FMV. I assume that this is not in
There's gonna
engine.
be some battle. Yeah, I looked for one that had some battles in it.
Okay.
This is the let's
Oh,
bring
that.
you up to speed with what kind of world you're in first kind of deal.
Mm.
Yeah. And then we'll show you some action. It's pretty. Now, give me the action. This is walking in the town action.
Okay.
This is I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
not sure
climbing
what
the
that was
mountain
either.
action.
Wow.
This is shooting someone off the boat action. This is walking on water action.
Okay.
Yeah. Traverso, okay.
Got the
You got
wind
that-
jumps.
It's kind of what you call it? That Chinese like wushu kind
Yeah.
of like thing going on.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really bad of me to always look at an action game nowadays and be like, okay, is this more of a near like non-committal,
I know. Or
or is it more like a Souls, like full
Is
commit,
this-
or yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's like, oh, is this Sekiro or oh wait, there's more. It's like, is it Sekiro that we're looking at here, or is it
Yeah.
more what's the other one? Neo,
Neo, yeah.
or is it Ghost of Tsushima? Like, I guess
Tsushima,
that's
yeah.
the other thing, is that we compare everything that we look at to things that we've experienced before, right? Like
Mhm.
that's just how human brains work, is we want to make comparisons and draw comparisons and contrasts.
They're kind
So
of like the extremes, like in some just like where do you lie on the spectrum, right?
yeah,
So yeah, so there
is
you
it a
go.
masher, or is it like a skill
Mhm.
based game, right?
Yeah, that you know that's exactly what it is. So I actually couldn't really tell because there are parts where I'm just like, okay, you got this deflecting, perfect dodge. I see stuff like that, but then at other parts it just looks like just
Hack and
insane
slashy. Yeah.
slashing. Yeah, I'm just like, what's going on? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see more as this game is being developed.
Hmm.
Currently, there's no release date, right? So
Yep.
whenever that comes out,
And it
so
looks like they're gearing it towards PC as of the
yeah,
time being. No other platforms have been mentioned.
that's correct. All right, so that's all it is from that convention. Now moving on to all the other games that has been announced that wasn't part of that.
Hmm.
So speaking of games based in ancient China, here's another action RPG. I know people are like, I'm getting action RPG fatigue. I know, but this one is from the legendary Team Ninja. Speaking of
Oh,
Neo, yes.
okay.
So, Wolong, Fallen Dynasty, we've got actual gameplay this time. So last time we talked about this game, it was just, teaser trailer, but now we've got gameplay. So let's take a look at what the gameplay looks like.
You betcha. Let's pull this up here.
More Chinese music. I wanted to put the two of them back to back to kind of like contrast. Like you've got two teams
Doing
working
similar
similar
ideas,
theme. Yeah.
different execution.
Like this feels more fluid. Not gonna lie, just from what I'm seeing right now.
It's also, they're showing off a lot more gameplay right out the bat.
Yeah. Also, it's English dubbed. Great.
Yay.
Yay.
Gone unnoticed. Your force was like that of a dragon soaring heavenward.
Magic. Ooh, you get summons. Now, this time it's definitely going to be more like a Neo kind of game because, well, it's from Team Ninja, so
Yeah.
definitely expect yourself to die a lot. But yeah, wow, okay. Short and sweet. I like it.
All
1
right, and
minute. That's all it took. That's all it took to. Yep, that was good.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I needed to see.
Coming to
Um,
PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Series XS, and PC in early
Yes.
2023.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of this. It looks really good.
Yeah. Which of those two are you more excited to see at this point?
Probably Wolong. Like
Mhm.
I just felt like the action felt a little bit more fluid.
Yeah.
When it comes to an action game, that's like a big thing for me.
Yeah.
But then again, like where wins meet, I think is still relatively early in development. So hopefully the next trailer is gonna be a little bit better. Yeah, it's not
Mhm.
bad right now. It still looks really good. It's just when you compare the two, like one is like notably more fluid. One for one reason or another. So
One of the things that I did remember here of when we watched the trailer for Where Winds Meet is that it also had a little bit of a breath of the wildish
hmm
look to it. I mean, uh, well, at least one of the
mountain
mechanics,
climbing
the
thing.
mountain climbing, the thing
hmm
where the wind jumping, probably not so much, but
Mm.
when they were falling from like the top of that ship, and
hmm
they pulled out the bow and arrow that was flaming, and time slowed down, and they targeted a bunch of barrels, and they exploded. you know
hmm
so it looked like it was a bit more. I don't know if that's also Breath of the Wild inspirations there, or it
Hmm.
just happens to be just a good mechanic for mid-air shooting. um
Yeah, no, I think it's just a good mechanic.
it
I
feels like they're
mean,
going for very different things. Like,
mhm,
I feel like Wolong is, based on what we saw there, aiming for something a little less fantastical. I mean, very fantastical, but a different kind of fantastical, right?
mhm, yeah.
Windsmeet is way more wuxia, and then the Wolong seems a bit more grounded, but with like fantasy creatures.
Your player action feels more grounded, at least
Yeah,
a little bit.
maybe.
I mean, he was just summoning a phoenix and throwing like thunders, but you know,
Yeah.
there's that.
So take all of that with a grain of salt. It feels a little bit different, and it's hard
Mhm.
to pin down exactly how they're different. But I mean, you can definitely see different inspirations at
think
play.
I think what you're looking at probably is like the physical movement of the person feels more like the kind of movement that a person can reasonably make versus like wall jumping and then double air jump,
Yeah,
and all this like crazy spins and turns that you don't think like
it
a
seems really
person.
impractical.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that, right?
Maybe
But
that
Wolong feels more like okay, I can reasonably see a person move like this.
less
I think
flourish maybe in the movement, and
yeah.
yeah, because I mean, I think Wolong definitely has a lot of that wushu inspiration that
Mm-hmm.
has the people strung up by wires, right? And so they're
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of fantastical, unnecessary movements that are very artistic.
Yes.
And I think maybe that's what makes it stand out as being particularly feeling wushu, right? Um,
That is true. That is true. Yeah, and they're going for a certain kind of aesthetic, so I'm definitely yeah, but I definitely want to see more of it. I'm
yeah,
glad that they're different though, right? Because if
yes,
they're too similar, then and being well, not being released, but at least being talked about and being juxtaposed, that's not a good look for anybody.
yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
All
Let's
right.
move along to the next game here, which is, as far as I can tell, is not uh, set in medieval China.
Not this one, no.
All right. So we've got a twin stick shoot 'em up from developer
Mhm.
Neotro that
I think so,
will
yeah.
have the players confront enemies from the elements we have all have feared or loathed in our lives, whatever that
Yeah.
means. Let's check this out.
Take a look at the trailer, you'll see.
Okay. Um, it's called Never Awake.
Never awake, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's uh nightmare fuel kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Needles.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the idea is that they kind of take like everyday things that
Forks, vegetables.
veggie
Oh,
scrap.
teeth.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, they kind of take like everyday sort of objects and things that people loathe and they just like made them into
Oh
like
god.
enemies.
The frou-frou kind of like dogs that are
Yeah.
vicious. Yep. Oh.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Very interesting
Especially if
approach.
I'm big on shooter games. I
Yeah.
think what you're trying to do is like maybe unlock the chains by fighting different stages. It seems like that's what's happening. But yeah,
Oh, that would make
looks
sense.
really cool. Yeah. So
Yeah. All right. So Never Awake. That is
mhm,
coming out on the 28th of next month, September 28th on
mhm.
PC via Steam, and also it's going to be coming to PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch sometime in quarter 1 of 2023. So
Yeah.
PC fans rejoice, console fans wait a bit longer.
Yes. PC Master Race strikes again.
Yeah, well,
All right.
all right.
We got another game, of course, because there are so many games to
I
talk about
know,
today.
so
We've
many
got
games.
got a game called After Image. It's
Mhm.
a new hand-drawn Metroidvania game from Oregon, Shanghai, that has just been revealed. Players will explore the world of N Garden,
Okay.
and battle beasts wandering the land and learn about the new friends made along the way. Yes,
All
take a
right.
look at that.
Let's do that.
That is such a nondescript like description. Fight beasts and meet new friends. Okay, that's like every game.
Yeah. Here's a brand new RPG where you do RPG things in RPG, but we're hand drawn in Metroidvania. Yep. That about sums it up. Metroidvania where you do RPG things.
Yes. Looks pretty though.
Yeah.
Bosses, of course. Yes.
Looks like some of those enemies have some of that paper doll aesthetic that I've
Hmm.
whined about in the past at nauseum. But that one looks actually surprisingly decently done.
Yeah. So this one is coming out in winter 2022, releasing on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, the Switch, and the PC. So if you're interested in that game, it's gonna be here in a couple months. So just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah. All right. Now we have a game that sounds familiar to me. It's called Vernal Edge. Now it's being
Mhm.
developed by Hello Penguin Team. Being developed by Hello Penguin Team, who have just announced this new Metroidvania game. So people
More
who are
Metrovania action.
yes, fans of Metrovania games are going to be very excited by this. It is
Yes.
a game that follows Vernal, a young woman who is searching for her estranged father. Right, let's give that a gander here.
I've kind of stuck similar games together.
Yeah, good call. I love this pixel art aesthetic so far. Looks nicely done.
I like the animation. The animation is I don't know. Animation's pretty nice. The portrait art's pretty nice.
I agree. Oh, dude. What?
Does that not look like Final
PS1.
Fantasy 6? Yeah. Not
that
even
is-
PS1. Like
Oh, you-
the Super Nintendo.
Oh, you think it's got that? Well, I don't think it's quite mode 7. It looks a bit more polygonal than that, but maybe super
Really?
effects. Maybe Super Nintendo super effects, kind of
Yeah.
like Star Fox, but I was thinking PS1 cuz that's when it first kind of got bigger, but dude,
Yeah.
that looked
I was waiting for you
I
to
want to see
something.
more of
I'm
that.
like,
I want to
I'm
see
gonna-
more. Ah. Dude, this is
There you go.
really
This-
nicely
this-
animated.
This one doesn't have those paper doll thing that you hated.
Certainly does not. It looks
Yeah.
great. Ah, Vernal Edge.
Vernal Edge. Yes.
Oh man.
Looking good. Looking good.
Oh, okay.
right.
There it is. So, no release date is announced as of yet. It is coming to PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC as well at some point. So, we'll be sure to give you updates on those as they arise, as with all of these games, as they draw closer and announced dates come. We will let you know about them.
Yeah, I love announcing games when it just comes in like so many
Oh.
different consoles and platforms. This is like, everyone's like, "Oh, that game looks really good, but can I play it? Like, is it on like my platform of choice?"
Mhm.
And then some of these games are just like, "It's on everything."
I know.
Play it however you want, and like, it's a good feeling. Some other times though, it's a little bit limited, like this game that we're about to talk about right now. So this
Mhm.
game is called the Rift of the Necrodancer. Brace Yourself Games just revealed that the next Necrodancer game will be called the Rift of the Necrodancer. It's looking a lot more like a pure rhythm game, as
Oh, this
opposed
one
to
is?
the rhythm roguelite Crypt of the Necrodancer. So I don't know if you've ever heard of that game before,
Yeah.
but that game was fun. Yeah. Cadence is once again the protagonist, and we follow her journey to repair the rifts that tore the world apart through rhythmic battles and mini games. Very bad.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
You bet. Yeah. So, Rift of the Necrodancer.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, bring it on.
Brace yourselves.
Hey, you haven't forgotten about me.
Okay, yeah,
have
this
you?
is definitely looking more
Well, I'm not done.
just basic
yet.
rhythm-based game.
That's also yoga, apparently.
Took it all.
That's rhythmic yoga.
But I'm gonna get it back.
I don't know how it plays into the game, but
And together,
Interesting.
we'll close
I don't know. I feel like this kind of
the rift
Has-
of the Necrodancer.
kind of done away with the part that made it super interesting to me in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I was like kind of concerned about, because
Like if they had if they had instead made like Crypt of the Necrodancer, but without the rhythm based stuff, like
Mhm,
maybe that's the direction I would have personally been
mhm.
wanting to see. But yeah, for me, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I feel like the rhythm game part is what makes it like unique though.
That
Otherwise
is
it's just
true.
like a dime a dozen like, roguelike,
Yeah.
like as if we don't have enough roguelike.
Hmm. Now,
But yeah,
now
but now
rhythm
that it's
games
a
are
pure
not.
rhythm
I
game.
was gonna say pure
Yeah.
rhythm. They're not as dime a dozen, I think, but
Yeah.
they're still way more common, and it's kind of
Very nichey. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what that turns out because I mean it is a very short trailer.
There could be more to
Uh
it.
there
Hmm.
could be more to it. So no release date as of right now, right? But it is only available on PC as far as I can see. But hopefully there will be more more substance to the
Yeah.
videos that will come in future trailers and also more consoles, more platforms, I should
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
So it's about time we talk about some of the heavier hitters that have been announced.
Yeah. We've been
So,
holding on you guys this whole time.
well, I didn't get to choose the order.
Well,
Baku did this. How dare you, Baku? How dare you? Okay.
yes, I've kept like the best things for last. You guys know this by now. Okay, let's talk about it.
So we don't typically cover games that are not yet announced for the West, but given the history of this game series, we figured it was probably safe to go ahead and uh, assume that we'll get that official announcement sooner or later. So
Yeah.
uh, the seventh title in the Disgaea series will be set
Yes.
in Hinomoto Netherworld clusters and stars Fuji, the Wandering Samurai, and Pirika. I'm sorry, Piririka.
Piririka? Yeah.
Piririka, an otaku
Piririka.
girl. The two will overthrow the Oedo shogunate and restore peace to the land.
Yes. That's the basic story.
All right,
Oh
let's
man.
let's give this a quick look here as well.
Yeah. Oh, this actually looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. I'm a little excited.
I mean,
They're finally bringing it back. You know,
I'm,
because
I'm s-
they've never had a game that's based in like the Japanese inspired underworld. They've
yeah.
always had like Japanese classes like ninja and what have you, but like and they have characters that are said to be from the east, right?
Uh-huh.
But they've never actually like played into the Japanese like folklore stuff and that sort of underworld. So this is like their take on it. So I think it's pretty cool and a little bit overdue, honestly. It took you until the seventh game to
Wow.
get into it. Like what? Yeah. Because I was talking
Hey,
about
that
it
looks
with
good.
somebody, and then they were
Okay.
like, "Oh yeah, but they had ninjas and class and stuff in the old games." Yeah, but that's not like the world that it is.
Yeah,
The game
I mean,
is based in. Like,
Final
the
Fantasy
world-
has had
Yeah.
ninjas. I mean,
Yeah.
they have never
Final Fantasy
gone to
Tactics?
Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is different. Like they're in the Japan hell, if you will. So
It looks really very stylish.
yeah. Of course,
Uh-huh.
I expect nothing less from this guy.
Oh yeah. This is definitely looking
Actually looks pretty
wild.
good.
Yeah, so given their history, I mean, they're made by NIS. I mean, who has their own dedicated
Yeah.
localization company here, NISA. So I think chances are really good that they will port their own game overseas because they've, decided that porting games to the West is, a profitable thing to do. So keep your
Yeah.
eyes peeled for that. It's coming out in Japan on the 26th of January next
Mhm.
year, and it's going to be releasing
Yeah.
on PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch in Japan. And
Yes.
again, no international release date has yet been provided, but we'll feel pretty confident.
I'm gonna be so mad if like they announced it like just now.
Oh man, you're prep.
Like us
they
doing
they
the
would
show.
they would do that.
Like us, we're doing the show right now. Like they
Here.
just announced it.
Quick
Like, wow,
quick
okay.
chat check. Chat, has it been announced now that we've started the show?
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, I left the next big story that I left that
Oh
for you here.
jeez. Really?
Mhm.
I would have swapped with you. I would have taken this guy. Oh jeez. You're
Oh,
putting a lot of pressure on me here.
okay.
Ugh.
Well, you got
Okay.
this.
All right. JRPG veterans, Matsuso, wow, okay, I cannot pronounce his name. Matsuso Machida and Akifumi Kaneko joined forces to create two amazing titles. With Western punk fantasy armed fantasia and gothic horror penny blood. So,
Ooh.
these two games are from the veterans, of course, Matsuzo Machida, who you may know from the as being the creator of Shadow Hearts, and Akifumi Kaneko, who hails from the Wild Arms fame. So, Kaneko will return to write and design Armed Fantasia. The story follows a boy named Ingram who travels the world slowly turning into a desert, wherein Penny Blood is being created by none other than Matsuso Machida, who again was creator of Shadow Hearts series.
Yeah.
This game is going to take place in the 1920s and follows agent Matthew Farrell, Matthew Farrell, which as he tries to solve a gruesome mystery that began as an incident in New York mental hospital. The game will have Matthew travel from the US to Asia and then finally to Europe, similar to Shadow Hearts.
Mhm.
So you can definitely see the pedigree. You can definitely see,
The
the
influences.
inspirations, the influence. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get hyped responsibly and watch that Arm Fantasia official trailer. Which, by the way, I don't know about you, Derek, but I got bombarded by people. Like I've got like 5 DMs with just like, take a look at this, take a look at this. And I'm like, I can't
Yes.
look at this. I
I
don't look at it on the
was
show.
I was
Can't look at
absolutely
this.
bombarded. I have not looked at any of these yet. But man, I let me before we do, I just want to savor the moment here for just a second because
Mhm.
I get to say that back in 2019
Mhm.
on August 7th, I released a video talking on the JRPG weekly update, talking
Mhm.
about how the guy behind Shadow Hearts
Mhm.
has he started company Wild Rose and hinted back then at starting a revival of Shadow Hearts, and it's
Huh.
awesome to finally see this like come full
Ooh.
circle after all this time. Oh, things move slowly sometimes, but they do keep moving. So let's
Ooh.
take a look at starting with Armed Fantasia.
Yes. On Fantasia. Let's go. This is the official trailer. There's
Dude,
another trailer
that
out that's
whistling.
like a battle trailer. But yeah.
Oh,
It looks good.
that music, dude.
The music's fantastic.
Definitely returning to some of their roots with the
Mhm.
music being inspired by Ennio Morricone. You can definitely hear that. Ah,
I'm actually getting goosebumps from this, so that's a good sign.
100%.
Ooh. Oh my god, that looks good. Damn it, this looks good. Tell me this is gameplay. Tell me this is actual gameplay. Tell me this is gameplay.
It's not. It cannot be gameplay at this point. I mean, if they're kickstarting it, like, it can't be gameplay, right?
It could be. I mean, they could just have like one battle scenario.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Ooh,
oh my gosh.
man.
Oh man.
All right, guys.
That
Type
music.
responsibly, please. Please.
Oh.
All of you in chat
Mhm.
right now,
Mhm.
Need
Reel
to
it in.
hype responsibly.
I see you. I see you're overhyped
Ooh.
over there.
Yeah,
You know who you
calm
are.
down there, buddy.
Reel it in. Hype responsibly. Whew.
Yes, man, I have not like Wild Arms was such a long time ago
I mean,
that like
yeah, PS2 was the last title that they released, right? Wild Arms 5?
yeah. Whew. Okay, so you know what this feels like, honestly. I think the last Wild Arms game I played was the tactical RPG one, so not quite like mainline. The one on PSP. I don't know if you ever played it, but that was actually pretty good.
Mm-mm.
Um, watching this trailer brings me that feeling of seeing Trials of Mana remake
Yeah.
because it's like I did not expect to ever see this series ever again. It's
I
not
know.
quite the same. It's called Armed Fantasia, but like if you told me this is the newest Wild Arms, like if you just call this the newest Wild Arms, like
Yeah.
it's practically what it is, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Can
wow.
Hey, can we watch it again?
Yes,
Okay.
we shall watch it again. Yes, do it.
Okay, let's watch it again.
Yes.
And listen to this music. I love that the whistling there. That's so I hope they got the same composers involved.
I think they do.
It sounds. I mean,
Quick look. I'll take a quick look. Keep watching.
God, that looks so good.
Okay, no, they didn't talk about music. They talk about character designer, but it's the same character designer from the Wild Arms series. There's that. It's called. The name is Tomomi Sasaki.
I'm trying to think of who the original composer was. Was it Noriyuki Iwadare? I wonder.
Don't remember. I mean, I can probably look this stuff up later, but
Yeah. I mean, we can all look it up later. Man, that is.
actually, do you want to see gameplay? We have a gameplay trailer.
There is a gameplay trailer.
There's a gameplay trailer. Yes, there's a gameplay trailer. Do you want to see it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Throw
here,
it in the.
I threw it. Yep.
Okay.
This one's from Famitsu.
Okay. And is it in the doc?
No,
Or-
sorry.
it's in the Discord. I see
it's
it.
in the Discord. Yeah.
I see it. Okay.
Yeah. See, that other one is like announcement trailer. This is the battle trailer.
All right. Let's check out the battle trailer because
Yes, let's do it.
I have. Okay. So this is.
Oh, this is kind of what we saw, wasn't it? Oh no, this is just what we saw
Oh.
earlier. Never mind.
Okay.
Oh,
Well.
boo. My trailer was better.
It was. Okay, but yeah, I guess they're claiming that this is kind of what it will look like in engine. But yeah, they haven't secured the funding yet. I swear they had better. Okay, anyways, we'll talk more about the funding of how this is all going to work
Yes.
after we take a look at the trailer for Penny Blood next.
Okay, so a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I don't know where this person found the trailer because this is the only trailer that's out right now.
Oh,
So I think this
Penny Blood?
person had found it somehow and threw it on YouTube. So, and
Oh.
I've confirmed that like that's the right trailer. So we can take a look at it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So this might
yeah.
not be like a well-known trailer that we're about to watch for Penny Blood.
I mean, I tried to find like an actual release trailer like Arm Fantasia. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
But we have this. So let's take a
Okay.
look.
Okay, so let's
It's
see.
extremely short. It's not the best quality, but
All right, well. Okay. Oh,
See?
okay, yeah, very short.
very short, just like the other one, right? It's
Yeah,
almost like another Famitsu thing, right?
yeah,
But that's like the only trailer I can find. And watch again that there's a trailer right now.
yeah. I know.
Watch just a freaking trailer right now. That's like, yeah, did you guys know that like it got released 30 minutes ago? You guys are slow.
I know. Okay, but it looks like there's some sort of
gives
that
you
wheel.
a sense of what the
You see, that looks
battle
so
is
much
gonna
like
be
the wheel.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was in Shadow Hearts.
Yes.
Ugh.
That's exactly what it is. So you're gonna have to time. You're gonna have to time your clicks. In other words, just like the wheel.
Okay.
To keep your sanity points. So they've talked about that. So that's why I'm pretty sure that is like an authentic trailer. Like
That would be
no one just
ridiculous.
made it up.
It would be
It
ridiculous
would
if
be
somebody made that in like, 20 hours since it was
Yeah.
released or
the
announced.
team should hire that
The
person.
Judgment Ring, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
But again, I had to go through pretty great lengths to find that one for you guys to watch because I was extremely excited. I'm like, you know what? I want to see the battle, and all I saw were screenshots. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I want to see the actual.
want to
So
see
I
it in
looked high and
motion.
low, and we found that. So yeah, in motion, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's kind of what the battle should look like. And man, I hide responsibly,
Mhm.
everybody, please.
Keep it reeled
So
in. So how is this going to work? I mean, they've announced these games
Mhm.
and they've put them up on Kickstarter. How's that working, Baku?
So the Kickstarter has not begun yet. In case anyone's wondering, well, have you funded this yet? It won't start until probably tomorrow. So it says the Kickstarter will not begin until August 30th, but that's Japan time. So that's
Mhm.
August 29th for us in the States.
Yeah, Japan's in the future.
Yeah, Japan's definitely in the future, more ways than nine. You can support one or both games via donation and just backing,
Mhm.
but the money will be pooled together. That's how that works. That's why
Yeah.
this is a double Kickstarter. For anyone who is like, why are you talking about two separate games like together? Because it's one single Kickstarter campaign that
Th-
funds two games.
That's
Yeah.
smart. It's cool to see them kind of like pooling their resources together for this to
Mhm.
make a singular push.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, because they're announcing at the same time, part of me is like, I want to definitely back one and I definitely want to back the other. Can I back them both at the same time, or do I need to save up to do that at the moment? Like this is
Yeah.
gonna drain my currently existing
Reserve funds?
discretionary funds. Yeah, my
Mm.
okay, so I might just have to fund it in two turns, I guess, or something. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So, again, Kickstarter begins on August 30th, Japan time. So,
Yeah.
as soon as it goes live, I am going to tweet it out and I'm gonna go and throw some money at them because, man, the funny thing is, now that I really think about it, I haven't gotten a single game that I've backed. Not
What?
a one, not a single game I have backed, I have gotten.
Whoa.
They're either indefinitely delayed, canceled, or still developing.
I got Shenmue 3. I backed that one. I backed a few. Gosh, Eiyuden Chronicle.
Alien Chronicles still in development.
Still in development,
So,
but
yeah, I'm
I haven't
not
got it
saying like
yet.
I won't get it, but
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of
gotten-
those things.
yeah.
It's like pre-ordering, but like way in advance.
So,
Uh,
God,
because
it's pretty bad.
I want to make sure that the games get made, and I trust the developers to an extent.
to an extent.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. That should be very heavily stressed at this point is that with Kickstarters in general,
Mhm.
I mean, the success rate for video games is generally pretty high compared to a lot of other kinds of endeavors, especially when you involve a lot of veterans to the series or to the genre, to video game development in general. They know
Mhm.
how it's done. They know how to get stuff done.
Yes.
That said, there are not really any guarantees, and even
number 9.
even if those things come to fruition, which
Mhm.
they likely will, but if they do,
Mhm.
they might not be the greatest quality. They might not be exactly what you were hoping for.
Mhm.
So it's a lot like pre-orders. If you have a personal aversion to pre-ordering stuff, and I generally do, but then don't do it. But I have a soft spot for developers who are trying to break out on their own and make
Yeah.
the kinds of games that they were prevented from making when they worked for
Mhm.
larger studios.
Right.
And that's why personally I'm going to back them
Mhm.
and I will do that probably every time, sometimes to my detriment, but that's kind of how it goes. And um, we'll find out in the end if that was a good choice or not. So use your best judgment, and I'll use my worst.
Yeah. Let us know what you all think in the comments. Will you back Arm Fantasia? Will you back Penny Blood? Will you back both? Will you back none? Let us know,
Yeah.
because I am backing both. 100%. I'm down as soon as the gate opens. I'm opening my wallet. I'm not saying be like me, because I've made some bad investment choices. Like I said, I have not gotten a single game from Kickstarter yet. So take it as you will. But it's just absolutely no denial that these games are just phenomenal looking, and wow.
Yeah.
If this is what it means to like support and get more of these in the pipeline, like give me another Auden, give me another Arm
Oh
Fantasia,
yeah.
then yes, then I'm happy to vote with my wallet to say yes, I am interested in this gaming community or the JRPG community in Japan. Yes, we are in fact interested in these games. Give us more of
Yes.
these games. Vote with your wallet, right?
Yep.
I'm happy to do it. I'm
It's one
happy
of
to
the
do
few
it.
ways that voting with your wallet actually can work.
Yes. And here's the thing, like
Hmm.
companies will notice.
Oh
Like,
yeah. I mean,
don't
when
don't
when
think
they,
that Aiden
I mean,
like didn't make a mark, like even though it has not been released yet. Just the sheer popularity of this game
mhm.
is sending a signal to the AAA developers, like Square Enix. Like Capcom recently, maybe talking
Breath of Fire.
Breath of Fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe bringing that back, right?
Yeah.
Potentially,
I mean, this is probably not
through
the
the S
greatest
survey.
example, but
Yeah.
remember when Shenmue 3 was announced for its
Mm,
Kickstarter?
yeah.
It drew such an enormous crowd. I think it was one of the highest funded things on Kickstarter at the time, and ended up
Mhm.
getting sponsored by Sony. Basically, like they
Yeah.
picked up the rest of the tab of the development because they're like, wow, there's a
Mhm.
dedicated fan base behind them.
Mhm.
So yeah, it definitely gets noticed how well these projects do get funded. So keep
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
anyways, so all of that aside, that's about it for new video games that were announced, but we do have other pieces of news to talk about, starting with
Yeah.
some industry news here from Netflix,
Yes.
who
I couldn't say that I didn't think it was gonna happen, but when it does happen, it's just so funny. But go on, sir.
well, so how
Mhm.
Netflix had that Resident Evil show.
Mm. Live action. Hmm.
Well, emphasis on the word had. Uh, so the live action series is getting axed due to the show not really performing to
Mm.
expectations. The
Yeah.
showrunner Andrew Dabb claimed that the show was set in the same world as the games and has had plans of bringing familiar characters judiciously and over time, but well, maybe he
Yikes.
should have not buried the lead there, huh?
Yeah, I think that was the problem with the show is okay, so something that you guys have to know about me is I don't like watching anime until they're done. So same thing with this. It's like I don't want to watch any of it. I don't like cliffhanger. I want to wait for at least the season to be done and then just like binge the whole season and then just be satisfied and move on with my life. Well, I wouldn't even be doing that anymore, I guess, because what I heard from friends who watched the show, they were like, "Oh yeah, this show has like nothing to do with Resident Evil." I'm like,
Hmm.
"Excuse me, it has nothing to do with Resident Evil?" They're like, "Yeah, not that we can see, anyways, right?" Well, it did have something to do with Resident Evil, but it's just done in such a roundabout way that we're not exactly sure what this person was getting at. And at the series finale, apparently, they had introduced Ada Wong. Spoiler alert for some of you guys who are still looking to watch this thing. I'm sorry. But yeah, they introduced Ada Wong, who is a huge character in the main Resident Evil series.
Hmm.
But that was about it, just at the very end. And that's just not good enough to hook people in. And I always feel like it's ridiculous when these writers or directors, showrunners, whatever you call them, who has like authority over the creative direction of the show
Yeah.
to not put more emphasis on how it really ties to the property, and the IP that we love so much. We're watching this thing in anticipation because we like the Resident Evil story and gameplay and characters. And then they're like, you know what I'm gonna do? Not give you any of those. Instead, you will see my own take that loosely
Mm-hmm.
ties in with the no.
Yeah.
No, look, we want originality. Yes, we don't want you to give us the game in live action word for
Sure.
word.
But you got to make it
Absolutely.
relevant. You got to give us a reason to
Yes.
care. You can't
Yes, like
take our attention for granted, and you can't take tomorrow for granted, especially
mhm.
when it's a Netflix series. Like, uh, I mean, come on, dude, you knew
I
this.
I read that and laughed judiciously and over time. What makes you think you have time?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I mean, you had our attention at first, and then
yeah.
you lost it. You
Yeah.
squandered it.
Mhm.
You gotta make with what the people want. Um,
Yeah. You're like
Bummer, dude.
episode 1, it had to tie into something important in Resident Evil
I mean,
immediately.
unless
Yeah.
you were under contract for like 3 seasons, and you're like, okay, I'll waste the first season, and then I'll do what they want for the second season or something like that. Then okay, fine. But
Oh,
it
jeez.
doesn't sound like that was the case, and you blew it.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately, but I've heard news, okay, that and this is one of those things that I didn't write into today's podcast, but I've heard news that there will be a some kind of movie adaptation. I don't know if it's live action, but it probably is live action for um Gravity Rush.
Oh.
Yes, which someone also said in chat,
I
but
wonder if that will be similarly nausea-inducing.
oh, jeez. But the only reason why I didn't put it in is because I couldn't find
A
prime
source.
sources
Yeah.
for that announcement. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a rumor until such time that Sony or they said scot-free film of
Mhm.
production. Until one of these company comes out and say, yes, we are making this movie. Here
Yeah.
are the details. It's rumor. So
Yeah.
let's just keep it where it is. I'm highly aware that that is a thing that is being talked about
We're
right
doing
now,
our
but
best to hype responsibly, everybody.
that is correct. But when such time that comes when they are giving those announcements, you'll hear it here. All right, so we've got a couple of PS5 news for like the 10 of you who actually has one, because it continues to be like impossible to get.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the DualSense Edge. Sony is introducing a new wireless controller that will have features such as remappable back buttons, turnable triggers, and turnable triggers and sticks.
Oh, tunable. Yeah.
Tunable triggers and sticks. And that also means adjustable trigger travel, replaceable stick modules, and changeable stick caps. All these wonderful, wonderful things. It even has a reveal trailer.
Oh, you want to check it out?
Let's take a look at it. It's the
Okay.
most ridiculous trailer I've ever seen for a freaking controller.
I mean, Xbox has done something similar with
Have they?
their special controller. Yeah, where it's like completely configurable like this.
Oh no, but the reveal.
Oh, I don't know about the reveal, but
You got this like choir, this like
but hey,
is-
looks like they at least have a solution for stick drift.
true. Let's just make it replaceable.
Yeah. Just make sure you buy the
Oh
modules while they're
my
still available.
God. I
Ugh.
cannot. I cannot this. I
Yeah.
cannot this. I
Yeah.
cannot this. But
Is there a release date?
No release date.
Ah.
Bummer.
Aw.
But you know what has a release date, Derek? Kind of.
Is it PSVR 2?
Oh, it is PSVR 2.
Because a recent tweet confirmed that the headset will be coming early 2023.
Yes.
PSVR 2 will support RE Resident Evil Village, and the upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake as well.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to see what the next version of VR can do with Resident Evil 4 remake.
Hmm.
PS5 is just a more powerful system, so maybe it will be a better experience. I tried playing Resident Evil, not Village, but what's was it just Resident Evil? It's just Resident Evil, but 7,
Oh, okay.
right? With the
Uh-huh.
stylized 7
Yeah.
uh on the PS4 PSVR. So and it was not the greatest experience, let's just say. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a little dizzy afterwards. But then again I was also a little tipsy, so I don't know, it's one or the other that was hurting me.
Have you done
But
other VR headsets before? Do they all give you
uh
nausea or no?
no. When I play like what's that one game called? Beat Saber, like
Oh
it
yeah.
feels perfectly fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then again, like they're two different games, right? Like
Hmm.
one it's like you're moving about a space, whereas the other one is like you're more or less stationary, it's just things
Yeah.
that are flying at you. So
Yeah.
like yeah, I feel like it's a little different. So I'm actually interested in trying it. I don't think I would want to buy the PSVR 2. I'm not big on VR, but what about you, Derek? Are you excited about like VR text in general? Like,
Dude, I think that a first person RPG in the form of like Oblivion, Skyrim,
mhm.
something by Todd Howard. You know what I mean though.
Right,
Something
right,
like
right,
that,
right,
like
right.
Fallout would be incredible in VR. But I don't know. I think that that would be the next step to get really immersive. The
Mhm.
thing that really kind of scares me away from VR in general is the fact that I would look ridiculous on stream. Absolutely ridiculous.
Can
So,
you imagine a VR first person turn based RPG?
oh my god. That would probably give me nausea. Where like the person just like moves of their own accord and is like spinning around and oh, that'd be so awful. But there are other things that I think would be really great for VR. Like
Mhm,
imagine putting on your VR headset
mhm.
and all of a sudden you are in like a gigantic IMAX theater.
Mm,
Like and getting that full IMAX theater experience
mhm,
from home. And you
mm,
like look around, you can see maybe other people watching in the theater with you. I don't know.
mhm.
Like there's cool things that you can do in VR. Not all of it necessarily has to be VR gaming, but I'm
That's
sure a lot
true.
of it
That's
is.
true.
And I'm kind of curious to see like if and when this eventually becomes more of a thing,
Hmm.
and becomes more mainstream. I'll be curious to see what the synergistic effects are in other aspects of entertainment.
Yeah, just like a personal IMAX like theater experience. Maybe like a PS5 can hook up to two machines, so like you can have like a PSVR date. I don't
PSVR
know, like
party. I mean, maybe
yeah.
not a date, but like if maybe an online you and your best friend or some
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
to see like the new Spider-Man or whatever in
watch it
IMAX.
together.
Yeah. Like
Hmm.
I mean, Xbox back in the day, Xbox 360 had like theater mode and you could
Mhm.
actually do that with Netflix. You could sync your
Oh
consoles over the
okay,
internet and watch the
right.
and they had voice chat and it was could you imagine that would have been so good for like COVID?
Oh jeez, yeah.
That would have
Hmm.
been so nice. But no,
Yeah.
that I mean, it's not a thing at this point, but um
COVID's still a thing, Derek. Oh
yeah,
no.
you are you
J-
you
as
speak
soon as
true, I say thank you. So
as long as Japan is not fully open, as far as I'm concerned, COVID
yeah,
hasn't left yet.
that's a good
I'm
point.
waiting for the
When
day.
I said during COVID, I think I meant during the
Like the
US
lockdown
lockdowns.
phase. Yeah.
Yes.
We're not really in the lockdown phase anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So the last piece of news regarding PS5 is not exactly a welcoming one. In a recent Sony blog post, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan announced that due to challenging economic conditions brought about by inflation and adverse currency trends, the PS5 will see an increase in their recommended retail price around the world. In other words, yeah, they're gonna jack up the price for
Yep.
PS5. The price hike will be effective immediately. except for Japan, where that will take place in mid-September. So here are some new prices that you guys will have to contend with if you are still interested in picking up one of these suckers. In Europe, it's going to be 549.99 euro. UK, 479.99 pounds. Japan, 40,400, sorry, not 40,000, 60,000, 40,000, 60,478 yen, whatever that means. Australia, 799 and 95 cents
Oof.
Australian dollar. Mexico, 14,999 pesos. And finally, Canada, 649.99 Canadian dollar. The price in the US will remain unaffected for now, at least.
So remember how last week we talked about how Nintendo said they're not going to raise prices. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
they are redesigning the shipping cases. They're redesigning
Yeah.
the boxes in order to better
Cut
utilize
costs
shipping space.
elsewhere.
Yeah, cut
Mm-hmm.
costs elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that worked uniquely in their favor because the Switch is such a small console compared to the Gigantor PS5. So
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation really is, by shrinking their packages, would really only be like tinkering around the edges of the expenses for their
Yeah.
stuff. Um, so I guess that's a really interesting contrast,
Mm-hmm.
especially as we're starting to see GPU prices in general dropping,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still not really what I would call affordable or even reasonable at this point.
Yeah.
GPU prices are still above what they're supposed to be. Like when you go places, like you can usually get them for around MSRP, a little bit above, but not usually right at MSRP. And honestly,
Yeah.
MSRP is stupid still, because they jacked up the MSRP of all GPUs substantially during
Mm-hmm.
the mining crypto phase
Yeah.
craze that was
The
going
the
on.
the bowl the bowl yeah,
Yeah. So it's
the bull
still, they're
market.
still unreasonable, but at some point, I think if we continue to not buy them, I think that we'll start to see them become more reasonable, especially secondhand now with crypto in the toilet. Um, so so with all of these
Yeah, graphics card
factors,
prices have really gone down. Like really gone down. Like if
yeah.
you ever wanted to rebuild a computer and you're not looking forward to like the 4000 series or the 7,000 series for
Hmm.
the Nvidia, like the RDNA 3 basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, now's a good time. Now's a good time.
And I
Go
think,
get your graphics card.
well, soon, I would say soon is a good time. I think it's
Oh,
coming
soon
down.
is a good
I
time.
I think they'll still continue dropping.
Oh, do you
Um,
think it's gonna go down some more?
oh yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I think
Okay.
because, like I said, the MSRP even as of right now is still inflated compared
Mhm.
to what they were during like the 10, the 16 and 20 series cards.
You know, Nvidia CEO actually was just talking about how they have like a surplus of the 3000 series and they're gonna start marking down the MSRP.
And
So,
4000 is just around the
yeah,
corner. The 40 series,
exactly. And
yeah,
they're trying to get rid of them,
it's
right?
gonna be a
So, yeah.
fire sale. So
Yeah.
hold your
Mhm.
horses until that happens. Um,
I'm also waiting personally. I have a
mhm.
5700 XT. It's not terrible, but um I want something else.
Something with RTX would be nice for me. Now, I will say though that the reason I was bringing all of this up is that Sony is finding themselves in a very precarious situation, where
Yeah.
the value prospect of a PlayStation 5 is very difficult to justify
Mhm.
compared to the Nintendo Switch, compared to a decent graphics card at a
Mhm.
reasonable price, or even a used graphics card, because that is also what they are competing against at this point.
Yeah.
Miners offloading their spare cards and stuff.
Mhm.
So, yeah, the value prospect is, it's not there right now, and they're increasing prices. I don't know what they're
Man,
thinking, but it's not
like
gonna do them very many favors, I think.
so like let's think about it, right? Like what are some games that it's just like I'm just really dying to play from Team PlayStation that I can't play on PS4 because I have a
Exactly.
PS5. It's just sitting there. Like it looks
Demon Souls
pretty.
remake, man. That's about it.
Oh, I
But I
mean,
mean,
I've got
that's the other thing.
yeah.
It's the chicken and the egg. They're still releasing brand new games for PS4
Hmm.
because, like, even people like me, I have a modestly successful YouTube channel that could
It is very successful. Excuse you. Please apologize to Super Derek immediately.
uh
I cannot believe. Wow, the insult.
I mean, okay. So, anyways, um, hypothetically, I could probably save up and spend money that this channel generates in
Mhm,
order to to buy a PlayStation 5,
mhm.
um, and I could even write it off as a business expense, right? So I wouldn't have to essentially pay taxes on that income that went toward the PS5, which,
Mhm.
like, yeah, it makes things a little less like painful to buy them, but even still, I feel like that money would just be better suited going into other things for the channel, like, a different
Oh,
camera,
you know
better.
what? Here's the thing. I absolutely expense my PS5 because the only time I ever played it is during stream,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
stream was a revenue producing endeavor. So,
yeah,
I've never actually played a PS5
outside of,
other than just turning it on and just making sure it works
yeah,
outside of streaming. It's true.
I
There's a
believe it.
fact. Yeah.
Um,
But I found myself like not really even touching it because there's just no games on it that I had to play on the PS5 to
mhm,
stream. Like all those games, I can just have my PS4 counterpart, and frankly, has a lot more memory inside that
yeah,
I'm not scared of running out. So I don't know
and
what the
that's
PS5 value proposition is. Like you said, I'm
and
just not sure what it is anymore.
like, I feel like, and like I said, this game is also on PlayStation 5. I would have
Mhm,
loved to have been able to show off this game, in looking its best as possible, right? I feel like
mhm,
that would even be a good, like, some people would probably really like to see what it looks like, and they'll
mhm.
go find those. But at this point, it's tough even for me to justify that, for because I mean, how many PS5 videos am I going to be making in the
You're
near
right.
future? I'm better off
Right.
waiting for a used copy at some point or something, because
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
also a cheapskate. But anyways, all of this again is just to say the value proposition for just everybody is really tough, and it just got a lot worse. So
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. You're raising the price. The competitor is dropping the price, and now we're going to basically a global recession. I don't know what you're thinking. PlayStation just Nintendo had it right. Like increase our install base as much as possible, and then sell games.
mhm.
Like they had it on the money, and I think they're doing very successful. I mean, yes, we even saw their financial numbers. I remember taking a look at it, and yeah, their hardware sales went down, but their software sale skyrocketed, and they made more money in 2021 than any other year. Like it
Yeah,
was the most profitable year yet. And because of software sales. So, yeah, boy, PlayStation, please get a grip. Like this, can you imagine? You might not imagine. Can you believe that PS5 is now 2 years old?
yeah, I believe it. I
It's
mean,
been down for 2 years already,
mhm, yeah,
and here we are. We still treat PS5 like it's a brand new thing that
like
just
it's
came
next
out. Like
gen, because
right,
so many of us don't have it yet.
exactly.
It's hard
It's
to find
nuts.
in
Yeah.
stores, and if you have it in stores, like, do you happen to have the 500 bucks or more to get it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it, that
Yeah.
that's like a, when you see it in the wild, that's an unplanned event. Like, you don't,
Yeah.
I mean, at least unless you're actively pursuing it. And there are people who
Mhm.
are actively pursuing them, and yeah, they'll probably have like no problem finding one and affording one. But like the
Absolutely.
casual uh people who buy it as a matter of opportunistic
Mm-hmm.
purchasers, you know, yeah, it's not as
I, I
easy.
I will say the only thing that I see for PS5 is versus the PC is either you don't know how to build one, but they're like super easy now, or just the hassle of troubleshooting one. Because and I mentioned it in the
Hmm.
beginning of the show that my PC kind of like crapped out, and I had to reinstall Windows, and because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. It wasn't a hardware issue. The game just freezes, but not blue screen. And I
Mhm.
can't find any like event log. So even for someone who is experienced in troubleshooting computer, I did it for a living,
Yeah.
right? So like I know what I'm doing. I know all the different like case scenario, and I've just never seen stuff like this, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was, and I had to refresh the windows. But for a layman, that's a pain that they probably won't have to deal with if they have a dedicated gaming console like the
Mhm.
Switch or PlayStation. And of course, the Switch can't do a whole lot of 4K gaming, which comes down to Xbox Series and PS5. So
Yep.
that's the only case scenario where you would want one of these. You don't
And
want
now
to
you have the
hassle with a
Steam Deck.
PC.
Steam
Oh,
Deck.
and well, Steam Deck
I don't
can't
think it does
power
4K.
4K. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more of a Switch competitor still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know because there's still a lot of like uh power user things that you have to do to get access to certain games. So anyway,
Yeah.
so
Anyways, yeah.
let's move
So
along because we've been dwelling on this subject a little bit, and I wanted to talk
yeah.
about some other questionable decisions from video game console manufacturers here. Denuvo DRM is now coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Mhm.
Irdetto, the company behind Denuvo, announced that it is
Ugh.
launching their first Nintendo Switch emulator protection. Denuvo is notorious for causing poor performance and even hardware damage in PCs. Both are claims that the company continues to deny.
Yes.
Denial ain't just a river in Egypt. So,
So just to, because I kind of misread it too in the beginning, so let me just clarify that it's not that Nintendo is inviting the Nuvo to come onto the Switch.
yeah.
The Nuvo is making itself available for game developers to add the Nuvo onto their Switch games that operates on the Switch console. Does
Mhm.
that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I had my pitchfork against Nintendo. I was like, just when I felt all nice and warm about you not raising your prices, here you are betraying my trust.
But no, they're making
But no,
software that they're selling to developers. I gotcha.
correct. Yeah.
So
So
so here's the thing about Denuvo and anti-piracy measure in general is that what we've seen time and time again is that the only real way to outcompete the pirates, to basically decrease piracy is
mhm,
to offer services that are more convenient than piracy. That is
mhm,
it. I mean, and it's something that we've seen time and time again with
mhm,
starting with iTunes for music,
mhm,
and then Steam for video games, and then Netflix for movies.
mhm,
Um, and those things actively contributed to the decrease of piracy over time.
mhm.
Things like Denuvo, no. What
Yeah.
Denuvo did was they screwed things for the people who actually bought the games because the pirates didn't have to deal with Denuvo because they removed it first thing. They're like, oh, there's this Denuvo. Oh, let's get rid of that. We'll spend a couple days stripping that crap out and make the game run
Mhm,
better. And the result was people who bought games with these anti-piracy sticks as opposed to carrots,
mhm.
they had these anti-piracy measures in place, would get the subpar experience compared to the pirates. So
Yeah.
it's just actively selling piracy to your fan base, to the people who actually
Makes
do support you.
no sense
Yeah.
that people just keep putting de novo, and a lot of
Mhm.
companies remove de novo
Yeah.
from their games after either just negative like criticism or just the fact that it just doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? So it's just
Yeah. Like if I wanted my video game company to fail, I would start installing Denuvo on all my
Mhm.
games and selling
Yeah,
those. Like that's a bad choice.
that's a terrible choice. Please, any game developers who are listening to our show right now, any of you, please don't do it.
Yeah. So, also moving along, Tokyo Game Show 2022 is happening this year, and
Yay!
it's starting on September 15th through the 18th, and you can bet that we will be very extremely busy trying to
Mhm.
cover all the games showcased in the JRPG home turf. There will
Yes.
be official streaming, and we will report on the details as they become available. So
That's
keep your
right.
eyes and
Yes.
ears peeled for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really soon. I would imagine that they're gonna give some information on where you can watch a live stream probably in the next week. Yeah, it's probably like 2 weeks before the event, so about like next week, you should expect something from them. Yeah, so the TGS typically have pretty strong JRPG showing just
Hmm.
because it is Japan,
Hey,
it is Tokyo Game Show.
and
So
Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes has already said that they will be at TGS. So if
oh
nothing
yeah.
else, we'll
Hmm.
have more Eiyuden. But I mean, there's
Uh
likely to be a lot more.
yeah, no, Gus is already committed that they will have probably wink wink announce something new in TGS. For those who don't know,
Hmm.
Gus is the company that makes like the Atelier series,
Yep.
for example.
Armed
Uh
Fantasia and Penny
yeah.
Blood, I think, are going to have more there as well.
Yeah, what is it called? Atlas is saying that they already have the they're already setting up. In fact, like they showed some like sneak peeks into their stalls, so
Oh.
it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, Atlas and Sega. So
Hmm.
just a whole bunch of I'm so excited for them to come back because TGS unlike E3 actually have a lot of like JRPGs, like
Yeah.
strong JRPG showing basically every time.
I
So
wonder. I
yeah.
wonder. Any predictions for TGS this year?
Ooh, man, that's tough.
I'm gonna go
I
with
uh
Persona 6 is gonna get teased.
you think Persona 6 can get teased? I think it's a
It's
little too early for
it's their
Persona
it's their
6.
26th or it's their 25th anniversary, like wrapping up here pretty soon, right? For the
Yes,
Persona
it's
series
true.
and
Is
how
it the is it Persona series or SMT like or like
Persona
oh it's
specific.
just Persona.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's their 25th. They've been, celebrating it all year with some letdowns.
Concerts and collaborations that
Yeah.
like some
And
people
now
care about.
Persona 3 and 4 got the yeah, two
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
and they did the vinyl soundtracks. So they're doing stuff and I feel like it's all culminating in
Yeah.
something
To P6.
and it ought to be a teaser for P6. So
Mm,
that's my big prediction for TGS this year.
hmm. Yeah, I don't think I really have any because all the things that I would think I would see are already
Oh,
happening.
it's their 30th, not
Like
25th. Thank you.
oh, it's the 30th. Yeah. So for example, like new Tactics Ogre remastered, new Valkyrie game, new Star Ocean game. Like there's already things that's already happening. So like at least from Square Enix, like I have no expectation from them. Maybe something better on One Piece RPG because I think that would be a great time for them to have like a full demo that's playable at the show, and then we can see how that plays. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything crazy to expect
Oh, it's SMT's 30th, but it is the 25th for
for
Persona.
Persona.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
maybe Breath of Fire. I don't know. What if
That'd be rad. I'd be
what
down to
if
see that. What if?
Breath of Fire? I
All
don't
right.
know. All right. So here is the last piece of news, but also pretty interesting news. So legendary game creators are making their own personal content. Kojima will launch his new podcast exclusive to Spotify called Hideo Kojima Presents Brain Structure starting September 8th. I know, of course it would be.
Of course, it's called Brain
Of
Structure.
course, it's called Brain Structure.
Hmm.
According to Spotify, this podcast will take a deep dive into Kojima's brain and shed light on his creative process. Um,
All right.
yeah, I think it's pretty interesting that we are seeing Kojima do a Spotify exclusive podcast.
I wonder if it'll be
Yeah.
it'll have to be in Japanese, right? I mean, does he speak?
That's a good question. I don't know what language it would be in. Yeah,
I wonder.
that's a hmm. Will he do it in Japanese? Will it be like
I'm
Like some
curious.
kind of translation happening?
I don't know.
Huh. I never thought about that. I wasn't even thinking about it. And
I
and
know.
now that you brought it up, I don't know.
Huh.
Hmm. So, but he's not the only creator who is making personal content. Masahiro Sakurai, famous for his work on Kirby and Super Smash Bros. Series, just launched a new YouTube channel called Masahiro Sakurai on creating games, where he talks about the game history, game design, and planning. While Sakurai said that this channel will primarily be targeting game developers, I think anyone can watch this and develop like a new appreciation for the kind of thinking that goes into making some of our favorite games.
Hmm.
So I am super excited for actually that part. I'm not subbing to Spotify, but YouTube, that's free. I'll watch that.
Sure.
It kind of reminds me of contents from James over Extra Credits,
Oh yeah.
where he talks a lot about game design, being in but this is different. This is from Sakurai, so he already has like a couple videos up. One of
Are
them
they in
talks about
English or
frame rates.
Japanese or
They are in Japanese, but because this video, you had English.
Oh,
You English subtitles, right?
sweet. Okay.
That's why I don't know how to answer you. I'm like, wait a minute, like a podcast. There's no subtitle to this. Like, how are
Yeah.
they gonna what? Yeah, good question. Yeah, but Sakurai's video, they're all in Japanese, but it has English subtitles. So
Okay.
yeah, you'll be able to follow along. Actually, his graphics are also in English. He has a Japanese only channel, and then he has like an English channel
Oh,
with the
okay.
same material. Yeah,
Cool.
but for the English channel, all the like little screens, they're all also in English, so you should have no problem watching those.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so check it out after this podcast is over, guys.
Yeah. But we do
Yeah.
have a couple final things to do before we
Uh,
wrap up for the day.
Okay.
And that
What
is
do we got?
we got some super chats to respond
Oh,
to.
geez, super chats. Okay.
As
Yes, let's go.
I was gonna say, it's a long episode today, isn't it?
It's quite long. Yes.
A lot of stuff going on this week.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and like as always, we always try to answer all super chats at the end of each episode. So starting with
correct.
this from Still Alive, who says, "So which of the three of these is the most boneheaded move in the gaming industry? Nintendo stabbing Sony in the back? Let's see. Sega of America announcing the Saturn wasn't our future, or Jim Ryan raising the price of the PS5 to $800.
God. Oh man.
Oh.
No, I think the most boneheaded move is Xbox always on. That
Oh.
like doomed their console for even now they're still feeling the effect of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's just always something in the back of your mind that feels like Xbox invades your privacy. You
Yeah.
know? Like even after all the things that they're done.
Wow.
Xbox camera always on, the absolute worst idea, just doom like whatever success that they could have had. Like wow.
I have to give it to Sega though for being the biggest boneheads, because
Mhm.
they were ultimately boneheaded enough that their console got done. Like so the whole story with Saturn basically was
Mhm.
saying they Sega of America was saying, "Oh, no, we have this 32X. You should go buy it." Meanwhile, in Japan, the Sega Saturn is out and they're saying, "Oh, no, I don't think the Sega Saturn's ever going to come out here. It's not our future." Yeah, this is the
Oh,
32X. Go
jeez.
buy the 32X. And
And
then
the lack of communication between Sega Japan and Sega America was insane.
and then the
Yeah.
32X, bombs. Then
Mhm.
the Sega Saturn comes out and does terribly. And then the Sega Dreamcast comes out, and it's a fantastic console.
It
But by
is a
that time,
beautiful console.
man, they already just tarnished the Sega brand to the point where people didn't have the
Mhm.
confidence to stick around. Now, some people will say, "Oh, it's because it didn't have a DVD player in it," and maybe to an extent there was that. Maybe to an extent it was some piracy.
Mhm.
But a lot of it is just when people were like shown how cool the Dreamcast looked, they held
Mhm.
out because Sony had just they had cemented themselves as, "Look how great our PlayStation 1 is. If you think the Sega Saturn is so or the Sega Dreamcast is so great, just wait till you see the PlayStation 2."
Mm. Yeah.
and they were kind of right. So I personally I will give the big boneheaded award to Sega on that one because they ultimately shot themselves in the foot and then threw the bottom of the boat that then caused the whole ship to sink.
Yeah. Man. Thank you for that comment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
it was a lot of fun to answer that one
Makes you
actually.
think. Yeah.
We got another super chat here from Mushy who says liars, and I believe that that is in reference to Lies of P. Uh,
I was waiting for more. I was like,
Nope, that's it. And then we had another one from Randy Bills who says, just
hello.
randomly donating to a YouTuber's live stream. Well,
Hey, thank you.
just randomly thanking Randy Bills for that donation.
Thank you, Random Randy.
Got another one here from Mushy who says, I just spent $200 this week rebuying Dragon Quest V on DS. Just a reminder to never sell your favorite games.
Why don't you just wait until like DQ5, like HD 2D? Because I'm pretty sure that's coming.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
mean, they haven't announced it, but they better.
I mean, at some point, it's gonna. You know, they did the pixel remasters for Final Fantasy. Maybe they'll do
Mhm.
the HD 2D remasters for Dragon Quest. That would be rad.
Yeah, I mean, they're already doing it for 3, and then 4 is possible, and 5 is a big, like,
Oh yeah,
fan pleaser.
yeah.
So,
5 is the
you
big
know,
like 5 is to Dragon Quest as 7 is to 7
I
to
think
Final
so.
Fantasy because
I
like
think so.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
the only Dragon Quest that got a movie made after it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's still my favorite too, just
Yeah.
because of the stories and whatnot. But yeah,
But Final
Hmm.
Fantasy or Dragon Quest 5 on DS is 200. Oh my gosh, that's nuts.
Jeez, why is that a thing? $200. That's like half a PS5,
I
right? Oh wait,
Not
no,
quite.
no, no.
That's
That's
a
like before the
that's rough.
price tag or after the price tag?
All right.
Sorry, I'm still ripping them. Yeah.
So, Yum Yum Raisin has a question for you, Baku. Says, would you buy Wo Long or Project Eve?
Um, at this point in time, probably Wolong,
Okay.
because Project Eve. Have, do, do you remember Project Eve? Have you
Project
seen it?
Eve. It sounds really familiar. Let me
It's
look up a photo here, a
yeah,
picture.
it's
Maybe it'll
kind of like
ring some bells.
I almost want to say that is kind of another near inspired game ish.
Okay.
But at this point in time, Wolong just looks a lot more polished,
Yeah.
even from just that one trailer.
Okay.
Whereas I hate this, but I think I've been burned a couple of times and I'm just a little jaded where like the whole thing of them showing the game is just showing how pretty the game is. And typically they do that for one of two things. Either A, it's just really just that gorgeous, or B,
The
they don't
gameplay
really
just isn't
have
that
yeah,
good.
the gameplay is not there, so they just show
Hmm.
you like all the pretty like animation.
Yeah.
So right now, as of this second, I haven't really seen anything substantial from Project Eve that makes me go like, wow, the battle, it looks amazing, and wow, I really want to play this. Well, Long, on the other hand, from what I saw today, would look like something that I want to play. So that's that's the answer.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that leaves us with a question from, or a comment here from Duo Beard, a super chat. It says, I'm late to the show, but happy belated birthday. Oh,
Hey,
thank you so
happy
much,
belated
Duo.
birthday, Derek.
Oh, thank
Derek
you.
version 3.6.
Indeed. We're going live. So I think that about wraps things up for super chats, unless any show up here in the next few moments. So I will say, if you enjoyed today's show, and I hope you did, please be sure to give the video a like, or if you're listening on some other podcasting platform, like it or subscribe on whatever you like to consume your podcasting stuff on. So I think that about does it for today. I do, again, want to remind people I will be streaming on Twitch here tomorrow. So links are in the description for that. Baku, have you got
Yes.
any closing thoughts?
Um, I just want to play a game from my Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Now that you've reminded me that I've done all these things.
Yep.
You know what? Now that I think about it, because you were talking about
Yeah.
the pre-order like comparison.
Yeah.
At least for pre-order, I can put a date on it.
Yep. Exactly.
For this, I just donate the money and then I log out of the account and then I just forget that that money was spent. And then
Yep.
like 3 years later, they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you should check your email to see which like version you want or something." And now I'm gonna miss that email because I'm not watching this
I
thing. Like
know.
I've moved
Mhm.
on, right?
Yep.
That has happened to me with AUDen almost. I was this close.
Oh,
Like I backed it, and then they're like, "Oh, we tried reaching you like 10 times to see which version you wanted." I was like, "Oh crap! Like I need to do this."
oh,
Um,
geez.
yeah, but
All right.
that's the final thought.
Cool. Have a great night, everybody.
Take care, y'all.